Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another episode of Watts World. I hope all is well. Miss Metal, Anthony Crouch, Terry King, Mayor, good to see y'all. I hope all is well. Flame on, 420 Wild Dragon, good to see you. I hope all is well. Just decided, go live and see what was going on. Pretty quiet Sunday. Got all my laundry done. Got the house picked up, cleaned up, back in order. Pretty productive day. Dana Lisa, good evening. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Yeah, I think we got into the 90s today. I think we got up to about 92. It definitely felt like it there towards the end of the day. Nice. It was the low 90s and sunny here today. Didn't really do much outside, just kind of focused on inside stuff. Yeah, for some reason I woke up this morning, my ears was on fire, I don't know what that was about, but my ears was on fire. Good to see you. Blue Butterfly, good to see you. I hope all is well. Yeah. Finally got done with laundry and cleaning up the house. Went and did the weekly, well, not really the weekly, but went and grabbed a few groceries. Did the running of the milk and the bread at the store. Man, I don't know if maybe it was just Sunday or everybody and their mama just decided to be at the Kroger when I decided to go there. Man, but the one I went to, it's like it's bigger than the regular Kroger. It's like I forget what they call it, Kroger Plus or Kroger something. But they got all type of stuff in there, more than just your regular Kroger, and then all those little shops and restaurants around it definitely don't help none. Went and got the few little things I needed from the grocery store and got me some supper, and that was it. Did get to take me a little nap, so that was somewhat productive. Yeah, I forgot I had a. There's a guy I know here locally. Uh, I forgot he was fighting on the. He fights for UFC. He got a. He's an up and comer in the UFC. He's got a. I don't know what you call it. Some type of contract or something where he fights for them. He's here from here locally in the area, and I forgot they was having a watch party for his fight. He was the co-main event last night on UFC. I forget what they call it. UFC Fight Night, and his name is Malcolm Wellmaker. Going into last night's fight, I think he was 10-1. He's only lost one fight, uh, but I don't know. He just didn't seem 100% in last night's fight. He definitely looked like the bigger and the stronger opponent versus his opponent. You know, Malcolm looked bigger, uh, looked more physically ready. I don't know, but he just seemed like he was a little off in the match. And then right at the end of the first round, the other guy tried to take him down, and he defended the takedown, but it brought him down to a knee. And as he was coming back up, the opponent came with an illegal knee. I mean, everybody saw it was an illegal knee, and it hit him in the shoulder and kind of, if you've ever seen fighting or if you've ever been in a fight, you know, if you kind of throw your shoulder up for like a block and it glances off your shoulder and rolls up your neck, and that's kind of what happened. And the ref stopped it. There was like 2 seconds to go in the first round. The ref stopped it and he reviewed it, and it was uh, clearly a bad contact. You know what I mean? If nothing else, there should have been a point deducted, and the ref didn't even deduct the point. He just gave the guy a warning, and after that, it just kind of, I don't know, kind of seemed one sided. But yeah, Dynamite definitely comes in small packages sometimes for sure. Uh, yeah, even though Malcolm looked like he was bigger, maybe a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, yeah, that guy, I don't know, he just kind of weathered the storm, took some pretty good hits, and he finished it out in the second round. He got him with heck, I forget the type of submission. It was I forget the specific submission, but yeah, it was a funny fight. It was wonky. Seemed like it was kind of over from the beginning, but hopefully he bounces back and gets a win on the next one. I mean, in his professional rankings, he's 10-2. So I mean, that ain't too bad. But see how it goes. But yeah, I went to a local watch party last night for that. That was pretty fun. Got to meet and mingle with some interesting people. They had some really good food, pretty good setting. So yeah, definitely rooting for my boy Malcolm from here in Augusta, but definitely get him on the next one. Be charming. Good to see you. It's tough being the queen bee, but somebody's got to do it. You know, it must be done. Still up there in Alaska? You still taking on Alaska and all it has to offer, or you done made it back home? Oh, that's a battle in itself. I remember. I don't know how old I was, but when you go to Mount Airy North Carolina is set up. Of course, it's a town in itself, but there's different attractions. Being that that's where Andy Griffith's from, there's different attractions that look like Mayberry or the police station or different things like that. But they got a. I hadn't been up there in years, so I can't confirm it still exists. But at one time, there was a Floyd's barbershop, and you can go in there and uh, heck, the guy they had working there kind of looked like him. I don't know if it was intentional or he just, was really into the character or what. But yeah, you sit in there and they give you a haircut. You take a picture if you wanted to and put it on the wall of fame. They have pictures, people all over the world. But heck, ain't no way all them pictures is still up there because I remember when I went up there as a kid in the '90s and got a haircut there. Shoot, the wall was packed in. There was pictures on everywhere. Yeah, they probably had to get a permit to support the walls just from all the pictures that was on them. Purple 101, good to see you, sir. Hope all is well. Anybody else I may or may not have missed? Happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Watts World. Vicky, good evening. I hope all is well. Bet y'all got plenty of sunshine today. Man, I know we did here. I think every day this week, the highs in the 90s, low 90s, but still. I know, right? Shout out Tom, man. I wonder whatever happened to Tom. Mm, That's the beautiful thing about the MySpace days. Even if you didn't have a friend, you still had Tom. Tom was still there. No matter what, he could always be your number one friend. He always made it to the top 10 friend list. Shout out Tom. Don't even know his last name. He's just like Prince. He just had one name, Tom. Tom. Oh, wow. 85 in Michigan. Man, how about that? Yeah, we getting on down to it. I forget, next month we'll be getting into summer. I think the 21st, was it the 21st of June? So we're still a month out, but yeah, we're getting on into it. Tom from MySpace is from Santa Monica. There you go. I appreciate that, Johnny. See if we can't get a hold of Tom. See if we can't get Tom up here. We can do a recap, a flashback, a flash forward. What's been going on with Tom? Where's he been at? What's he seen? What's he think about everything? Is MySpace coming back? We need to know these questions. Most people really don't want to know. But if you're gonna have MySpace 2.0, you got to get Tom's approval. 43 here and no sunshine today, just wind and more something I can't see right now. Well, I'm going to take that as yes, you are still in Alaska. You know what? That is true, Cheryl. You got to have a safe word. I appreciate you reminding me. I'm going to give tonight's honor to Blue Butterfly. Blue Butterfly. Choose the safe word for tonight. Choose wisely, Blue Butterfly. If not, you know I will pick the unsafest safe word known to YouTube mankind. Tom King. How about that? Man, how about that with the last name King? Mr. King. Is Mr. King here? Is there a king in the house? Well, matter of fact, there is. I go by Tom, but I am a king. Okay, still in Alaska. Tom, Tom could be a safe word. Is that too safe though? Interesting. Justin Timberlake bought MySpace and Venmo. Huh. I did not know that. True story? I did not know. What the heck did he do with MySpace? How do you buy MySpace? What did he just do? Buy it to cancel it? Nobody wanted to be his friend on MySpace, so he just bought it out. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Well, I guess at any point in tonight's broadcast, you feel any form of discomfort, displeasure, irritability, irregularity, cold sweat, meat sweats, any type of discomfort, displeasure that you just can't quite describe. Tonight's safe word is Tom. I repeat, Tom. Here we go. I think it's the first safe word that could actually be used as a name, you know? Well, no, I take that back. I did know this guy they called Cyborg one time, but I don't really think that was his real name. That'd just be too weird, you know? Cyborg Jones? I think not, my friends. I think not. Yeah, we'll have half the chat confused. They're thinking somebody's in chat that they can't see. People just gonna be yelling out Tom, Tom, Tom. I'm like, damn, how does everybody love Tom, but he blocked me? I can't even see him. Be careful. Be careful with those type of things. They can go sideways in a hurry. You know, I've seen it happen. It's happened with my beard washing days. Oh, I bet he got the cashola and got the heck out of there. You know what I mean? Obviously, he got paid well. We ain't heard nothing else from him. You know, hell, Barbara Walters didn't even interview him before she stopped interviewing. Man, yeah, we'll get Tom on here eventually. See what's going on. Timberlake bought MySpace and turned it into a dating site, and then Venmo bought MySpace from Justin Timberlake. Psh. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Pat Evans, good to see you as always. I hope all is well. See what I'm saying? All roads leads to Rome. No matter what you do, if you leave MySpace, your space, Tom Tom, or Tom and Jerry. You know what? I was said that I was gonna watch it or view it or see it whenever it was, but heck, I guess I got busy with just chores and stuff. I didn't ever really get online to look it up, and I didn't really know if there was a set time. You know, um, I guess after it was all said and done, I looked online, and I guess they had some type of prayer or some type of gathering. I guess what was it, the National Mall in D.C. But yeah, I didn't watch it. I don't know if anybody here watched it or anything like that. But yeah, I set a digital reminder, and I guess my TiVo lost connection. You know, it didn't record, it didn't sync up. But it's I don't know. I guess it was a what was it? What did I have on my notes here? Bear with me one second, y'all. All right, I think I'm back. Maybe I'm back. Okay, it wasn't on TV, it was online. Okay. And I'm guessing they had it today was I guess observed as a special day of remembrance cuz the national the the American National Day of Prayer, it was established, I don't know, as an official day I think back in the 50s, and we always celebrate that here in America on the first Thursday of May. Um and that's the official National Day of Prayer. I guess federally, nationally, American, whatever you want to call it, that we celebrate. That's always the first Thursday. This one, this one had a little bit different meaning. It was more of a special day, not necessarily a set holiday, but it was to I guess it was to re-honor the Continental Congress proclaiming May 17th, 1776 as a national day of fasting and prayer. Um, and I think they tried to make today whatever it was. I don't know. I missed it, but I think they tried to coincide it with that. But I'm not sure. Let me see. I think I might have saved a link earlier when I was looking some stuff. All right. I think that's one of the links. I don't know. I was scrolling through different links and different history links earlier. I think that was one of them I pulled up. Uh, it was a 250, more or less a 250 remembrance of the Continental Congress on May 17th, 1776, the 250 anniversary of that. And of course, pretty much every day this year, there's some type of, uh, I guess, like I always do, a today in history. There's always some type of event like that. I think mainly what they've been focusing on is like the Revolutionary War period, the actual 250 years ago, different dates and different occurrences like that. You know, like uh, Continental Congress meeting, or the ride of Paul Revere. Different states and places like that had reenactments. Um, I know we got a few coming up within the next month. Definitely in on July 4th, there'll be a lot of different reenactments, different exhibitions, readings. I know when I went, I don't know if anybody was here when I went to the July 4th reading here locally last year. That was a pretty cool event. Uh, that's back in my old lives. That's back before I was doing this type of live, just kind of on the scene live, and they read the Declaration of Independence, and they named all the parties and characters involved. And even here in Augusta, they had a representative. And they said they do it like that every year. Every July 4th, there's a representative sent to all the 13 colonies. So everywhere that they're reading or having a Founders Day event, there's somebody uh, from a different state there. So all 13 colonies are represented at each Founders Day celebration that they have on July 4th, that Independence Day. But then that whole day here, it's just nothing but stuff. They have that early in the morning, and then you leave there. You can kind of go over to a couple different historical sites. They have like reenactments, different things, interactive exhibits, things like that set up. Yeah, that was pretty fun last year. They said they said this year would be bigger and better. for the 250. So we'll see. It's crazy to think that we're less than 2 months removed away from July 4th. Man, this year has just flown by. Give me the beat, boy, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, who was that? Alabama? Their name might have been Alabama, but they had some good hits. You know, they had some good songs. You know, I don't really judge them because their name was Alabama. I think that was the group. Scotty boy, good to see you. Hope all is well. Welcome, welcome. Stagecraft Productions, welcome back. Good to see you. Hope all is well. You know, just a Sunday, a Sunday fun day impromptu live. You know, didn't have nothing planned or set up. Just decided to do the thing. You know, sometimes the thing must be done. Dobby Gray. Okay, okay. I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rush and rush until life's no fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I rode around with my mom in the car in the 90s, dude. I remember all them songs. That's the only like real era of music that I could just pull up to, you know? Like y'all can pull up the 80s, the 70s, or the 60s, you know. I can pull up the 90s. That was my that was my decade of the 1900s that I can remember, you know. Can't remember the first two. Can't remember 88 or 89. But about 90, 91, it all started to make sense, you know. Always, always good to be seen and vice versa, you know. It's the show about nothing and everything all at once, you know. You just never know what you might get. Can't say you're really not going to get it because you just might get it. You just don't know what it may be. Oh, yeah, REM. You know they're from Georgia. They were founded in Athens, Georgia. REM. Yeah, they definitely got their own sound, their own flow. Uh, definitely. But yeah, they were founded in Athens, Georgia, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. You know, just a little back-to-back SEC conference champions. Nothing major, just back-to-back. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Outcast always had their own flavor, their own sound. I don't know. A lot of different a lot of different artists and stuff. You know, they used to have the originality, their own sound. When you cut it on, there wasn't no question of who this was. You know, whether it be a solo artist or a band or a rap group, a rock and roll group, whatever it was, they had their own sound. Not saying that that don't exist nowadays, but like a lot of the mainstream stuff, man, it just some of it just sounds so much alike. Even the different genres, you're like, they say this is one genre, but I don't know. Yeah, them ATLians from ATLian in Georgia, baby. Leaving on a jet plane. I know that feeling. Yeah, music can be that way. Music can be it's definitely one of the unifiers, if not one of the best, you know. As Bob Marley said, the best thing about music is when it hits, you feel nothing. And that can be true. You can feel nothing, or you can feel just, man, you can feel everything. You can feel every note, every key. It's a beautiful thing. We all got our own flavors, our own likes, our own cup of teas, but music's one of those things that can kind of overlap and transcend a lot of stuff. Woo! I know that's right. That's about what it was here today. 90, 92, 93. Uh yeah, I didn't do nothing outside. I came out this evening and this morning and watered the plants, watered the gardens, but that's as far as my outdoor adventures went. I cleaned up the house, did laundry, got all that folded up, put up, hung up. It must be done. I don't like the laundry, but it must be done. And once I start, I can't stop. Got to fold them up, got to hang them up. If not, it'll just, it'll sit there and look at me. Who doesn't love Bob? You know, there you go. Family Feud. Who doesn't love a good family feud? Shout out to the Hatfields and the McCoys. Oh man, you you watch those old school episodes. I don't remember how many hosts they had of Family Feud, but you go watch the Richard Dawson era of Family Feud. Oh man, he was wild, dude. He didn't care. He kissed your mom right in the mouth. He said, come here, baby. What's the answer to this question after you give me a kiss? Come here. Oh, that's your husband. I'm sorry, sir. I'll get to you in a minute. Those old school game shows was wild. They were like a whole game in themselves. Oh, I know. That is the way to go. I do that myself, especially on a day like today. It was kind of breezy, sunny, hot. Shoot, it didn't take no time. It was already hot, so ain't no need to convert that much more heat into the atmosphere. I got an update on my phone. It sent me an email that it said I used the appropriate amount of carbon credits today. So I'm trying to, trying to stay on the up and up. You don't want to violate the carbon credit law. Who do you think you are to wash 5 comforters in one day? Who do you think you are? So, I kept a positive green social carbon credit score today. Only used the washing machine. Void, good to see you. Hope all is well. Sherry, good evening. Good to see you as always. Anybody else I may or may not have missed, I appreciate you being here. Welcome to Watch World, the show about everything and nothing all at once. Nice, I appreciate that. You know, hey, if I sound like a multi-millionaire, Grammy nominated, world renowned singer, wrong gender, but it's pretty close. I'll take that. Limbs to limbs, what's going on, man? Hopefully you took the day off, man. Hopefully you didn't have to climb no trees today. No, that was a jokey joke. You know, that was a jokey joke. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes they're horrible. Sometimes they get a 1 star on the laugh-o-meter. But yeah, that was a little jokey joke. Who knows? Who knows what's coming? Maybe at some time soon we'll have to make decision between Chicky Nuggies and the Bugs. Who knows? Nice. I don't think it was. It was one of the videos you put out within the last couple weeks where you were out searching for, I think, shark teeth. And I remember we used to go to the beach. I don't know, uh, different beaches down in Florida or different beaches in Georgia or South Carolina as a kid, and man, it wasn't nothing to find some shark teeth. And then like all the shops around there, or at least you could find one. Like the shirt they usually had, like the T-shirts or something. Usually, all those places sold like a shark tooth necklace or something like that. Oh damn! Well, I'm gonna say that's a massive haul. I don't know the proper. I don't know the proper. I don't know what's the average on collecting shark teeth, but 200 to 300. That's pretty cool. Yeah, do it. What are you gonna do with all those teeth? What are you gonna do with 300 shark teeth? The world must know. I must know. Buckeye Bob needs to know. Buckeye Bob, welcome, greetings. I hope all is well. That's what I'm talking about. The bulldog, baby. Scotty knows about the bulldog. He googled the thing. He knows about it. You know, he knows about the thing. Oh, that's going to be sweet. Got a local archaeologist is going to do a live video explaining the kinds of teeth we find. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, get you an expert on there, a pro. Find an extra megalodon tooth, let me know. I need to add one of those to my collection. Sweet. Yeah, keep us posted on when that video is coming out. Definitely check it out. Definitely share it out. Hell yeah. You be talking with the guy who was featured in Jurassic Park. Nice. Gold plated shark's teeth. Heck yeah. Sharks gotta have a grill. They gotta get their grill on. You don't want to be called Jaws and not have a few golds. It only makes sense. Like the movie. What was the villain? The villain from what movie? 007 James Bond. I forget which one it was, but the one that had the guy Jaws with the metal teeth. You know, people think those was metal teeth. No, that was just grill. He had a platinum grill back then. Nice. That is true. That is very true. You know, it's okay to find them. It's okay to even find them in an old chicken leg, but it's never okay to find them in your own leg. A little bit is not okay. Don't let them trick you. Don't fall victim to that. They do. You know. Cheryl. You've imagined the thing. There you go. We'll take that. We'll take a little Forrest Gump in our life. It's like a little Mambo number 5. We'll take it when we can get it. I got to Georgia and I just kept on running. I ran so far I didn't know where I was. I ended up at Watts World and I never left. You know, there we go. The Spy Who Loved Me. That was it. Yeah, it featured the guy. I can't remember the actor's guy, but you've seen the movie. You've seen the thing. You know who Jaws was. I think that's what they called him in the movie. Yeah, that's crazy. You gotta have a hobby license to sell shark teeth. Is that what you're telling me? That's crazy. How much does a hobby license cost? How much do you have to pay for one of those? Yeah, definitely. Definitely post a link or maybe post it in your community tab and I'll share it out. Definitely. We'll get this guy a shout out. There you go. Now I'll take one of those now. I'll take a gold plated shark's tooth. Let me know the ticket on something like that. How much does something like that cost? You know? Oh yeah. A hobby license is $18. Okay. I don't know how long that's good for, but man, yeah, you got to pay for everything. You got to pay for hobbies now. Man, this is crazy. I guess they got to get their money. That's a lot of hobbies. Just say a $20 bill a hobby. Every hobby is a $20 bill now. So true. You know, you just never know what you're gonna get. And even when you know what you're gonna get, you still might not get the right thing. Like there was one time, I don't know if it probably had to have been at my grandma's house because they always had stuff like that. All them different boxes of chocolates, and man, there could be 15 different chocolates, and there would probably only be like one I like. All the other ones was just I don't know. But they had one year, and I swear somebody put the wrong packaging inside or something because the label that it had with it, there wasn't a single one in there that was that chocolate. Like every chocolate that was in that box was totally different than the label. You know how it gives you the label and it tells you the name and shows you what they look like so you don't get them confused. Nah, that right there was totally irrelevant. So it was just like, it was like Simon Says with the chocolates. You just had to eat them at your own risk. Oh yeah, the geodes and stuff. Yeah, there's a one of them channels I view sometimes. That's what they do. They go out and get those like geodes and different agates. I think that's what they call them, agates. And yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't think there's really a way that you can tell what's going to be inside until you do it. Um, Even you can find several. I've seen them find several that's in like the same little pocket or the same little area, and they've busted them down. And there was similarities, but even then, I mean, they're so random and so different. It's interesting how something like that could form. There you go. You trying to sell it? You trying to sell the property or nah? I think I got a guy for you. Just let me know. We can work out a deal. We can all get paid for the beachfront property in Arizona. But hey, it could be coming. The water's got to be going somewhere. Oh, we got something going on in the background. I don't even know what are you trying to show me? Is that an SOS? All right, we got an SOS in the background. We got to bring them up.
Hey, Lot.
Oh, it's Bonnie.
Hey, everybody. I thought maybe if I go up, someone will get brave and come join you.
Man, what's
But you.
going on down in chat? I'm missing too much, Bonnie. What's down here? Thunder eggs. Don't know what's in them until you. Okay. All right, my mind went somewhere else. Never mind. Okay, I'm back on track.
I have no idea what thunder eggs are.
I like it. It's like five different chats coinciding into one. I'm tracking them all. It's just somehow the electricity and liquid gold sticks to the tooth. Yeah, they do that. It's like a plating. It's like what they call it, electroplating, where they somehow like electrify the object or something, and that electricity causes it to bond to it. I don't think that's the correct term, but yeah, I understand like the theory. They use the electricity to bond it or adhere it. It's pretty cool.
That is neat.
I'll take your word for that. Thunder eggs are cool candy. You know, I will take your word for that. I don't think I've ever heard of the Thunder eggs. I know the what did they have? The worst chewing gum, one of the worst chewing gums I ever had as a kid. I don't even know if any other. I don't even know if y'all remember them, but it might have been a '90s generation thing. But Easter, they used to have these miniature. Uh, it's like this miniature little dozen of eggs, but each egg was like a chewing gum. Oh man, that was the worst. That was the worst chewing gum. If you gave that to somebody, they just know that that was just like, yeah, they didn't like me. They got me the chewing gum eggs. And then you had to eat them. Even if you didn't like them, you had to eat them. They were like real eggs. You had to eat them in so long. If not, they turned into a geode, you know? They turned into an everlasting gobstopper. It's pretty cool. It's like two candies in one, really.
Never heard of those either.
That's what I'm glad you didn't. That was the worst chewing gum.
I wasn't much of a candy person, I guess.
Me neither. Me neither. That's why, because I tried them and I didn't like them. I'm like, man, what is this stuff? You know? I'd rather just had a homemade cake or something, you know?
So it sounds like you had some fun last night.
Yeah. I wish my buddy would have won, but it's all right, though. You can get him on the next one. I mean, the fact he even made it to that level, you know, to make it on a UFC primetime event, you know? This is like the second UFC primetime event he's been a part of. So he's getting exposure, you know? He just looked off last night. I don't know what was up with him. I don't know what was in his head. Anything can happen, you know. Any fighter could, you know, get the upper hand. I mean, they're both professional. They both made it there, but I don't know.
Definitely. And yeah, could be something in his head.
Uh-oh.
Didn't get psyched out enough or something. Uh-oh, what? What I missed?
Red. Yeah, I was that kid in the '90s, Bunny. If you was my friend and it was like a candy holiday, oh, you really love me. Cause man, Halloween, I get like a few little things out of there, and the rest I give it away. It's like once you get it in there, like after the next day, like you open the candy bag and it just all has that one smell. Like you can't distinguish anything. Like all the different candies have just merged into one of this sugary smog, you know? You can almost get like a rush just taking a whiff. It was like a whiff. I think that's how they figured out how to huff. You know, they just was getting sugary hits out the trick or treat bags or something. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
yeah, I'd take that school and give that stuff away. If not, I wouldn't eat it.
I knew kids that tried to go to school and sell it.
Uh, no, I did that when I got older, like middle school and high school. Yeah, I go to Sam's and stuff like that and get like the big packs, like the variety packs of like certain candies, or like sometimes I get like a bunch of Gatorades and stuff and like freeze them up a little bit, take them to school. Because the soda machine and the water machine always worked, but for some reason, man, you had to get lucky. The Powerade machines just seemed like it was always busted. It was always full. It was ready to give you something. It just couldn't give you anything.
Yeah.
So I had to capitalize on that. Then me and my buddies would sell like CDs and stuff, you know. We would make like mixed CDs and stuff for people. That was pretty fun.
Did you ever eat the candy corn? Yuck. I didn't eat candy corn.
Oh man, dude, that just made me. I almost said the safe word. Almost said Tom. I've never been a fan of the candy corns. You know, I've eaten them whole. I've eaten them color by color. No, I don't know. Never was the fan of the candy corns. If I ever got packs of them, oh man, I was making it rain. Here you go, candy corns for everybody. Eat them up.
Oh, goodness, Sherry, that doesn't sound good either.
What's that?
Chocolate covered cheesecake bites?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, that does sound good.
Okay,
Dang.
maybe.
Oh, you can't be anti-cheesecake. I let a lot of things go, but you can't be anti-cheesecake.
Well, I didn't see the cake at first. I thought it was just chocolate
Well,
covered
you thought it
cheese,
was chocolate-covered Velveeta bites?
something like
Somebody's
that.
probably watching the program right now eating chocolate-covered Velveeta bites. I mean, in this timeline, Bonnie, that is possible. You know, you ain't even got to do nothing. You just melt the chocolate, chop it up, and go. You know, the Velveeta don't melt till 250 degrees anyway. What you gonna do? It's either that or you get you some chocolate-covered spiders. Take your pick.
No,
Chocolate-covered Velveeta or chocolate-covered spiders? Which one?
neither.
Well, we figured you were going to say that, and we've made a contingency plan.
Not eating the bugs. My father used to come back from Japan with these little bags of, I don't know, little teeny mini squids, salty squids, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I
How do you
was like,
feel about Swedish fish?
bleh. I don't know what Swedish fish are.
The candy?
Wait,
Swedish fish candies?
no.
They're like, are they licorice? I don't think they're licorice. I don't know what they are. But, yeah, it's the Swedish fish, you know. The Swedish, man, they do a good fish. They do a good red gummy fish. Yeah, just one of the things they do. They're like a gummy bear, but they're aquatic, you know.
Hmm.
They're aquatic. The aquatic gummy. Yeah, I
Do they?
never was a fan of the gummies. The only gummies that I did like somewhat as a kid was I like the I don't even like them now. I tried them again. I'm like, oh, these things are horrible. Maybe they were always horrible. It's just some things as a kid you like it. I don't know. Was the Sour Patch Kids? I used to like them sometimes, but oh man,
Yeah, I think my kids like those.
I think they
So
took the sour and the kids out. Now it's just Patch. You know, you're just eating Patch. Who the heck wants to eat Patch, buddy?
no. Do the Swedish fish taste like fish?
I don't know. I had them probably. I never really ate them, but I know I've tried them at least one time at some point. I imagine it's like a gummy, maybe like a. I don't know what the flavor is. I don't know if it's licorice or not, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a gummy.
Fireballs, cinnamon.
Try not to think about it. Cinnamon gummy bears. Now there you go. That's taking it to a level you didn't even know you could take it to.
Okay, that sounds good. I like cinnamony stuff.
Or I was a kid. I don't remember what brand it was, but uh, I guess my mom. I don't know. We had these fruit snacks, and it was like the little gummies. I don't know. It had the grape flavored, orange flavored, strawberry flavored. I said, man, I wish they could make just a pack with nothing but the grape flavored ones. Because I don't know, as a kid, I didn't have them things a lot. But if I ever got one, I'm like, shoot, I just eat the grape ones out of here. I'm like, man, they should just make a pack with just nothing but the grape ones. I'd buy that one. But they probably don't even taste good no more. You know, not
Yeah.
unless it's a 5,000 gummy. You know, 5,000 mg, multi gigawatts. That's what MG stands for. So you got 5,000 multi gigawatt gummy.
Cinnamon's the bark of an apple tree. I didn't know that.
Never really knew, you know, never really questioned where it came from.
Yeah.
Never really kind of thought about it, really. I don't know. I just never was like, hey, I'm going to grow some cinnamon this year. You know, I never said that. Didn't never hear nobody say it. Hmm.
Anyway,
So,
should be. It's good for you.
well, I like it, you know.
Yeah.
I like more like I don't know. I don't like it really so much in drinks or something, like
No.
a um never. Well, what's that one drink that's got it? The Fireball. I never. Oh man, I never was the. I don't like it in like drinks, but I mean, of course, I like cinnamon rolls or
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know things like that. I guess.
Even just cinnamon toast.
Yeah, I've had cinnamon. Yeah. Sometimes my mom would make sugar and cinnamon toast.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't had that in a long time. I used to eat the heck out of it. She'll make some cinnamon sugar toast and maybe fry up some sausages or something to go with it. Shit, that was pretty good.
Hmm.
The Weeping Willow. Huh. Huh. Wonder which willow tree. Wonder if it's a specific one. I don't know how many different varieties there are. I imagine there's got to be a couple different ones. Oh, I bet. Yeah, they're known for their salt flats out in Utah. You ever seen that, Bunny? The salt flats out in Utah?
No.
Oh man, look it up. It is what it says. It just looks like it's just giant flat salt desert. They do a lot of different things out there. There's a guy here locally. I can't think of his company, but he's been in business as shoot long as I've been alive. But he works on all type of cars, classic cars, muscle cars, race cars. You go into his shop, he's got like all different type of cars on display. Cars from like the Indianapolis 500 pace cars, NASCAR pace cars. But anyway, make a long story short, one of the things he does is he sets and takes people on trips out to one of those places out in Utah at the Salt Flats, and they race cars, drive cars. They can kind of open them up. Pretty cool.
Mm. Sounds fun.
But yeah, interesting.
We're always hungry.
Oh, I bet that was an interesting experience. Floated in the Great Salt Lake. The salt content is so much that it's just you're pretty much can just float on water with no effort. Just imagine that there's so much salt content that you're just kind of floating along.
Right? Good
There's some other what is that? What do they call it? The Dead Sea? What is it? The Dead Sea that's really salty?
I'm not sure. We have a lake that it's supposed to have a really huge salt reservoir in it. Well, if it's still there, it's in South Texas, so there's no telling.
Red, welcome up, welcome up.
Welcome, Bonnie.
Hey, Kim. How are you?
I'm hot. I gotta
You're
get
hot.
gotta get my air conditioning hooked up in this room.
Oh.
The fan isn't doing it.
Huh. I probably mess up the pronunciation. Ceylon cinnamon is the one that has the healing properties. Kasaya cinnamon is the one most commonly found in grocery stores. Huh. Huh. I have to remember that.
Yeah, I didn't
There's
know.
always an alternate or a flip flop. You may get maybe that taste or that effect, but you aren't getting the true uh, healing properties. Just like certain salts and stuff. It may have it may give you that certain flavor that you want, but they all don't taste the same, and they all aren't the same. Different salts, different things like that.
True.
Okay, the Dead Sea's magnesium. Okay,
Well, that's
same,
good.
same, but different.
Magnesium's good for you.
Yeah, magnesium and potassium was supposed to be good for your for cramps.
Yes.
You don't stay up too late, limbs and limbs. You know what I mean? You got to have a good ground guy, especially when you're climbing 200 feet up in the air. You know what I mean? Who else is doing that on a Monday? Limbs is. That's how he gets the week going. Hmm. Let me see here. I think I had
Not
something else in
easy.
my notes. What you got?
It's not an easy job. Just
Oh
see
no.
what we had to do out here. And then you gotta, if it's close to a building, you gotta worry about not letting it fall towards the building.
Oh yeah. It's definitely an art to it for sure.
A lot of things to factor in. I mean, wind, all kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Yeah, I didn't watch the day of prayer. Oh, there's Virginia.
Vanilla comes from an orchid stem. How about that? You know? I love a good orchid, especially the stem. Always good to see you, Virginia. That's like I don't know, what was you gonna say?
I just saw earlier y'all were talking about the prayer event, and I didn't see it, but I read an article about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. The official America, I guess America, the United States of America, the official day of prayer is always the first Thursday in May. That was officially set by Harry S. Truman in the 50s, I believe. I think he officially wrote that up and proclaimed that it would be on the first Thursday of May of each year. This particular day was like a special call to allegedly a national day of prayer, but it was to honor the 250th anniversary of the Continental Congress proclaiming May 17th, 1776 as a national day of prayer and fasting. And of course, May 17th, 76, we was kind of all dealing with that at that time, the weeks and the months leading up to July 4th, um, the climax, the coalition of all the events of everything that we're kind of, I guess, celebrating the 254. There's been a lot of events, in this 250. Heck, I mean, in the last 5 years, we've had like groundbreaking like events, and it's just like in just 5 years, and we're just looking back at the 250, like man. But I think a lot of uh, the what they call it, a homage or whatever the word is they do, it was like during the revolutionary times, the Revolutionary War, the kind of the fight for independence as they tell us,
Right. Paying homage.
yeah, paying homage, yeah, homage. But yeah, it was to pay homage to the what's the word they use? I forget. It starts with an R. I forget. It's like a big event or something. But it was the 250.
Rededicating the nation back to God or something like that.
All right, maybe I read it wrong. Yeah, I thought it was a different R word. Yeah, rededicate 250. I think that's what it was. Now I didn't watch the event, but after it happened, I started looking up stuff, and I already knew that the National Day of Prayer was the first Thursday. So I'm like, how are we having two National Days of Prayer? So that's when I looked it up to see what happened today in history, and that's when I seen the thing about the anniversary of the Continental Congress on the 1776.
Yeah.
That's how you make a long story even longer, ladies and gentlemen. Take notes. That's what we do here. We'll take memo cards and turn it into a whole thesaurus. That's
Hey, see,
one link. I'll
that,
repost this link again. I posted it earlier. But that's
that,
kind of showing the rededication of the first event.
the thesaurus is my best friend.
There you go. I went to school with a thesaurus, a thesaurus Jenkins.
Because I mean, sometimes when I'm writing down lyrics, and I've got this other word I want to rhyme, but I got to find. So I'll go to my thesaurus and look up different meanings so I can get.
I got one around here somewhere. We always had one in school anyway. They always made us keep a thesaurus and a dictionary.
Unfortunately, I don't have a paperback one. I have to use the online one.
You would think, you know. I guess it was an online thing, you know. Different people might have been restreaming it, or okay. Hawk had 10 hours. Damn, 10 hours of coverage. So okay.
Did, I don't remember if I can't. I think I told you last night, Bonnie, about that guy, kind of local, that disappeared?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I did or not. Now we're kind of wondering if he did the same. You remember that other guy, that student? I think he was in Alabama too, invented a way to use corn oil or something else. It was called plastic. And he was
Yes.
turning it into fuel. You know, he disappeared for a little while, but then came back. But he did that, just kind of get away from everything. We're starting to wonder if that might be what this guy did, but he is still kind of unusual.
Has he been reported missing?
Yeah, but the local police department said he was found safe, but he has not been back to his business, and his son or daughter have not heard from him.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. There was another one.
And I'm keeping in contact with the son and the daughter, trying to wait. I've also got a local independent journalist that's kind of looking into everything on it too.
Yeah. There was a girl, I think in Texas somewhere, that she went missing, and then all of a sudden they said she's been found safe, but no contact with the family yet. So I'm wondering, what are they doing?
Yeah, I know. I mean, how do you hide out for so long? It's already been over a week and nobody's seen him.
It's
Nobody
tough.
heard from him. I mean,
it's tough these days, especially like if you have any like I don't know, like social media interaction or things like this, even if it's nothing but just kind of checking in or saying something, it can be done, but you got to be just, I guess, no devices, no nothing.
Yeah, all his social media, his Facebook, his regular profile, his personal profile, and his business profile, nothing has been posted on there. He posted that one cryptic message the day before he disappeared, where he was getting the threatening phone calls and death threats.
What did it say? You remember?
What, the death threats?
Oh, I thought you said he. I thought you said he posted a message.
Yeah, he had posted a message. Hang on, I'll go pull up the message on here.
Oh, that's crazy.
But the one guy I watched that does the plastics, he's in hiding. He puts up videos, but I don't think he's anywhere around.
All right.
He seems to be doing
I got
it.
it shared back.
He was down there in Augusta not too long ago. I would have went to the event, but I didn't know it was happening until after it happened.
Oh, the one that makes gasoline out of plastic?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, him and the Joe, the guy that does that has all the different Bibles from around the world and stuff like that's from here. Yeah, they did they partnered up and did a thing here. I don't know, maybe over a month ago, maybe. And I didn't know about it till after it happened. I said, "Dang, I would have definitely went."
And
Yeah.
I still think they should need to keep an eye on him and watch him closely, because you remember that one guy that invented the hydrogen water powered automobile. He disappeared
Yes.
completely.
But
Yep.
shit, he's out there, dude. I mean, heck, he's all over YouTube. He does these different.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow on his YouTube, he shows where he does these different events and different things. Tries it in different things.
Yeah. Hmm.
And he makes other products. He's got other like patents and other stuff besides the plastoline. That's just kind of like his uh, main thing. I guess the big thing is, I mean, everybody, no matter what, we consume like gasoline or some type of product, along the way.
Yeah.
Unless you're calling an Uber, or unless you got an electric car, and even if you're calling an Uber, shoot, they're running some gas or something.
See. Hmm.
Especially with the level of plastics and these like single-use plastics, man, it's crazy. I think Coca-Cola, allegedly they got number one again. Surprise, surprise. Coca-Cola, they took the number one prize again this past year for creating the most single-use plastics in the world. So hooray to Coca-Cola. That's definitely not something you want to be number one in, but you're number one in it for another year again.
I presented it in the backstage. What if you can pull it
Let's see
up?
what we got. Oh, damn, dude, what is that? Check that out, bro. I don't know if I can post it, but we'll do it.
Yeah, that was his very last post before he disappeared.
Man, these people asking me about cancer and Dr. Huh. Oh, okay, yeah, that's the guy about the medical stuff. Huh.
Yeah, and that's the one that disappeared here locally. He disappeared from Columbus, Georgia. But the Columbus police, but Columbus police said he's safe, but yet family or nobody's heard from him.
The tribe, welcome in the tribe.
Yeah. I still don't believe it till I see it.
Yeah.
Allegedly it is. They might as well just say the heck with it and bring back the original recipe and just see where it all falls, Be like, all right, you want your sugary substances? All right, we're going to give you the real thing. You want the real thing? Here's the real thing. Boom.
Not a real thing would have cocaine in it, but
that's what I'm saying.
Atlanta tries to take credit for it when John Pemberton actually invented it in his little pharmacy, which is in one of the historic homes.
There's a war
in Columbus.
There's a war internally with the Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You got wars internally and externally with it. What are we going to do? You ever been to the World of Coke? Did you ever go there?
No, I've never been to that one in Atlanta. Now, I did go, even in elementary school, I went and visited, where he had the pharmacy and where he, made the invention of it and everything, and seen his house. And
all we have is the Dr. Pepper Museum.
Yeah, I went to the I had never been to the new one. They tore down the old World of Coke that I went to on a field trip. What was it, like the 90s? They tore it down and rebuilt it. They moved it over by the Georgia Aquarium and they got several different attractions that's all within like a couple blocks right there now. They put all that stuff together.
Yeah, I know in downtown Columbus, Georgia, they've also got it's a Coca-Cola Space Science Center.
What do they got going on in there?
They got supposedly a replica of like one of the things. I don't remember if it was from the moon landing or whatever, but they've got all kind of different. They got this one theater you can go into, and it looks like you're in space and all kind of cool stuff.
Damn, you said that's in Columbus?
Yeah, it's right down by the river, right near the Riverwalk.
Oh, I ain't never even knew about that place.
It's down by what they call the old convention center. It's Columbus Ironworks.
We'll have to come down there and check it out, man. I like our Riverwalk. I got to come down there and check y'all's Riverwalk out.
Yep. Got it on both sides, Columbus side and Phoenix City, Alabama side.
The next time they allegedly we can possibly make that happen would be the year 2856. So we got to make it happen soon. The last conjunction of the planets will be 2856. I don't know if any of us will be here. If we are, I'll make a short about it. Devil Dog, good to see you. I hope all is well. The tribe.
Simplified Devil Dog.
Anybody else I may or may not have missed, speak now or forever not hold your peace.
Now, I do have plans coming up the 30th to go into this car show they're going to have down by the Riverwalk.
Sweet. The 30th of this month?
Yep, 30th of this
What type
month.
of, just all type of cars or anything specific?
I think it's going to be like a little bit of everything. Muscle cars, more modern, some of the old ones. Like a mixture of everything.
They just had a good one here the other weekend, and I missed it. But we don't have we've got dirt track racing and stuff like that in my area. But if you want like street racing or like quarter-mile racing and stuff like that, you got to go right across the river. It's probably about 25 minutes from me. It's in Jackson, South Carolina. Jackson Drag Strip, the House of Hook. But
I'm kind of lucky where I live because right up the road, it's not a quarter mile; it's an 1/8 mile drag strip.
Yeah,
and then about another 10 or 15 minutes up Highway 80, we have East Alabama Motor Speedway, which is it's a dirt track.
But they just had a big. That's what I was trying to remember why the heck I even mentioned that. But yeah, they just had a big car show. But they have one. It's every Saturday. They call it the Coffee and Cars car show. And they travel to sometimes it's like one main spot, but some weekends they travel to different one. Last weekend they went to the out there in Jackson.
Yeah, I haven't been to the dirt track near me in a while. I think the last time I went was before my son went in the military. We went out there and they had the big giant monster 4x4s all there. I got to see Bigfoot. What's that other one?
Oh yeah.
There was this one it's like a dinosaur blew fire out, and it was all kind of cool shit. Watched them jump cars and run over cars.
I don't know. Somebody had mentioned something, but even we got a local mechanic shop, CMC Automotive. They've been around for I don't know generations, years, but in their main office downtown on the Riverwalk, right in their front window, they got a DeLorean in there. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And that one, they're the ones that hosted that car show. I don't know. It's been a couple years ago. I went live there, and that's where they had it. It was like 5 or 6 DeLoreans, and then they brought John DeLorean, his daughter Kat. I got to meet her, and they brought the one they brought with her was like I forget what she said about it. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, it was like something from their collection still that was in the family collection.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is a cool looking little car, but yeah, dude, it's not made for a tall person. I couldn't even fit in it. I could sit in it with my legs out of it, but no, I couldn't get my legs in there at all.
Yeah, I think the one coming up here on the 30th is sponsored by the city of Phoenix City and this one auto shop.
I love a good touche, don't you? We don't touche enough. We need more touche. Make touche great again.
Yeah, speaking of Zippo, I need to get some more fluid for mine.
Shoot. Smoke them if you got them. Bum them if you don't. Oh, man. So that one guy used to say I always work with, he used to always say that every time on lunch when I was in the union. And man, he had it going. He had everything. He busted open his lunchbox and it was just compartments of everything. Man, he had Extra everything, extra sandwiches. He had salt, pepper packs. He had medicines in there. He had extra cigarettes, dude. Fuck. If anything happened between going home or coming back, dude, he was secure.
Yeah.
He was good for 24 to 48 hours with that lunchbox. Oh, hard pass. Hard pass, they say. Hey. R.I.P. Tupac.
So Blue Butterfly, you passed it without puffing on it?
No, she didn't do a puff puff. She just did a
Yeah, you got to
pass,
do
you
the
know.
puff. You just pass it on by.
She didn't even do
I'll take it.
a,
I'll take my hit and your hit too.
what do they call it? I don't even remember. Nah, she's micro dosing right now. Don't want to throw off that rhythm, you know. Once you build it up, you don't want to let it go. Over 1,000 Zippos, never opened, still sealed. Damn. They get you on an episode of Guinness Book of World Records. The largest collection of Zippos, unopened. Have to call my guy with the Guinness Book, see if we can get some record holders placed. Anybody has any special talents or special collections that's Guinness Book World Record noteworthy, please feel free.
No, but I don't have anything Guinness worthy.
Some of them now is just ridiculous, you know. It's just like the world record for holding the most sand in each hand, you know. Like, come on, how do you have a record for that, you know? For one, everybody's hand isn't the same size, and how do you just say that that's a record, you know? Just
Yeah.
because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do the thing, you know. If that was the case, heck, we was all sand holding champions at some point if we was in the sandbox, you know. It'd be the most off the wall stuff. It just totally discredits any records, you know. You don't even want to be associated with them no more.
Yeah.
You just they call, you just no. I think I'm gonna have to turn your offer down, Guinness. I don't think I can be in the records. Sorry. Maybe next year. Terry Wilson, the guy who can count the most jelly beans within 60 seconds. Like, how do you even know that that's a thing? You know?
Have y'all ever been to a Ripley's, believe it or not?
No, I've heard about
My
them, but no, I have. I remember the show, but never
my, my,
the
my son
attraction.
seen I think there was, where was the Ripley's? I think there was one up near Atlanta somewhere. And yeah, I know he's been in one and seen and said there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah. There's one across from the Alamo in San Antonio. And then to get out of it, I think you have to go through the wax museum. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, the Dean Cain show, the Ripley's Believe It or Not Dean Cain show. Y'all remember that? I think like the early 2000s.
I don't.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing, so I watched that show. I don't know, the nearest one I think would probably be I don't know if they got one down in Savannah or not. Probably be Myrtle Beach. I think Myrtle Beach still has one. Dirty Myrtle.
Why do they call it that? Is the beach really dirty?
I mean, a lot of the you know, the East Coast beach. I mean, any of the waterways, you know.
Yeah, South Carolina has like a lot of trees on the beach, fallen
Yeah.
trees, and the sand is like a brownish color.
I mean, it's not necessarily, I really call it that. It's just kind of like, we all have like, hear people or like people have like nicknames for like places in your areas, it's the places you grew up. It has like the real name, but you'll give it like a nickname. All right, we got total chaos in the background. Somebody's somebody's moonwalking. Oh man, we got to add this to the stage. We got a professional moonwalker.
Let's see that again, Carl. Got to see that moonwalk.
Nice. There we go. Hold that shot. We're gonna put that as what month is your birthday?
You're getting that out of me.
No, I'm saying the month. I forgot what month you told me.
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, cool. Scorpio here as well. November.
Heck, okay, November. Yeah, we'll make that screenshot. You'll be Mr. November. You hear that, ladies? Mr. November.
Dude, it's fucking 80-something degrees. It was fucking hot here today, dude. You take your fucking weather back. Like you always tell me with the snow. Take your weather back.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with no shirt on too, because it's hot as shit.
Shoot, we was in the 90s here today. It'll be 90s all week.
Yeah, this is just for the birds, dude. It's dark now, so I can do stuff. But all damn day long, it was pretty miserable. I got all the lawns mowed, everything's done, but damn.
Oh heck yeah, we're having a flex off, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to. He was talking about Scorpion. I was trying to see. I don't know if you can
go. All right, we may have a dual Mr. November.
See, that's the Scorpion. Damn. My Scorpion tattoo.
Nice.
It's 81 here today and raining.
I'll get
rain.
I don't think they say we're supposed to get some rain next weekend. They say we're shooting for next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. You got a whole week to prepare for us to just say that there won't be anything.
That's usually what happens. I say, oh, we got rain coming, and it gets here that time of the week, and like
it did that like the last 2 weeks.
No rain coming.
Yeah, it's gonna rain in the weekend, y'all. Don't worry about it. Boom, the weekend gets here. Nice weather, not complaining about it, but no rain.
I'll take rain right now. I'd be standing out in it.
But yeah, they canceled weather, so I don't know. I don't know when they're going to start it back up. But yeah, I guess it's still canceled.
Anybody want a kitten?
No.
Ooh, excuse me.
My one cat is enough.
They're free.
Let's see. D-Dog's probably the closest person to you. He needs a kitten.
He don't want no kitten. There's quite a few people closer than Devil Dog, by the way.
Yep. Are you sick?
North of us got pounded. I hear there was even tornadoes up north of us here, but we didn't get any of that.
Good. Yeah, we had a pretty good thunderstorm, but it wasn't. No tornadoes in this one. But we got thunderstorms all week, so we'll see what happens.
Man, talk about thunderstorms. I hated I didn't go to it. I would have liked to seen it, but they had the thunder over Evans yesterday, the event. Like especially like a pre-Memorial Day honor to the troops, that type of thing. But man, I saw some footage from the fireworks show. Oh man, that thing was massive. Every year is massive, but this year, yeah, it's like I don't know.
I heard Trump is planning to have the largest fireworks display ever on Earth on the 250th.
Great.
And that's a big toll. Once you say something like that, it's got to be massive. The biggest one on Earth, especially after the one they just put down in Georgia. You know what I mean?
No, man, he's one of them guys like
At the White House?
he's one of them guys that where you mow your lawn, he's got to mow his better. You buy a Corvette, he's got to have a nicer one. It's like it's one of those deals. I'm sure of it. So he's probably going to outdo that Georgia stuff.
Yeah,
Shit,
he's
good
probably
luck
gonna
to him,
blow
bro.
us.
I know they're doing the. I know some people don't watch or track like sports and things like that, but next month they're having the UFC, uh, the mixed martial arts franchise UFC. They're having a UFC fight at the White House. Um, and I don't know. I know they've hosted different type of things throughout history, different type of things, but it's like the first of its kind. And even like the belts, there's going to be several championship belts, and all the belts got like the special little 250, all different like little cool designs and stuff on it. But
Bling, man, that's some bling. That's another one of those things I just never was into. Holy shit, you got some of the legends up in here. We got Art
legends,
Wildman. You got Virginia Roots up in the house. What's up, Pat,
it's like a
Blue, Cheryl?
1995 class reunion up in this joint, dude. It's like the best of the 1900s right now.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, they've already got the big stage and all that stuff constructed. It's this big old massive. I think it's on the south lawn. A big old massive fighting combat zone. You know.
Yeah, I was pretty simple, man. Like 4th of July and stuff. When it comes, I didn't like to spend money on fireworks. I had friends that spend hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every 4th of July on fireworks. Right? I just saved my old paint cans and shit. Had a burn barrel out in the backfield. You throw empty paint cans in a burn barrel when it's going. That makes a wonderful boom. It's louder than any of that firework shit.
I think that's the state Olympic in Alabama.
Well, blowing up old paint cans, that's good shit. I mean, they're going to go to the dump anyways. Let's get it over with.
Yep.
Nice.
Old
Almost
refrigerator.
converted Garrett to the dark side.
Old refrigerators, especially when you use thermite.
Yeah, again,
Yep.
but that's money. You can buy that. You can buy, tannerite and all that.
Yeah, tannerite. Yeah, tannerite.
You can buy all that stuff, but again, there's stuff laying around. So usually stuff I got to get rid of. Let's make that go away in a wonderful acoustic boom.
Mm-hmm.
In the world of Minecraft.
Yeah. Yeah, the men's and women's made it to the postseason. See how far they'll go. Who knows? Takes a lot to win it all, no matter what you're playing in college.
I was playing with girls in college. I wasn't in college; they were college girls. I've never been to college. I mean, I've been to colleges, but I've never been to. I never went to college.
Winnie
Me either.
Monet. I don't know if I've seen that avatar handle before, but welcome in. Welcome to Watts World. Allegedly.
Yep, allegedly.
I don't know if they'll have to battle. They could battle through and play each other again. Who knows? I don't know how the seeding goes and those type of things.
What's up, Garrett?
Someday, Garrett.
Did you know that there's a whole term that was made up called garroting? And no, it's not using a wire around somebody's neck and killing them. Garroting was, I think, Hawks Mustard Seed made that up. Where garroting is, you can be talking about a subject on your YouTube live stream, and then this guy Garrett comes in and starts talking about sports, entertainment, and something completely different. They call that garroting.
Yeah, Garrettism. Well, if I ever meet you, Garrett, I got a Georgia hat waiting on you. You know what I mean? I know it's your size. I just know it has to be. So
I got the matches. I got the matches when you need to put it on fire, Garrett.
shit, it's already on fire. It's too hot to handle, really. You know what I mean? Something like that. You're right. You probably don't want to put it on. It's scorching hot. You know? Like the Olympic torch. Can't put it out. You just gotta let it go.
That's the fucked up thing about fucking heat here, man. You can always put more clothes on in the winter. I'm down to nothing right now. I got nothing else to take off. If it gets any hotter, I'm just gonna start melting.
Sounds like me. I mean, I do have my underwear on, but that's about it.
Spontaneous meltification.
Yeah. I don't know. Just laying on the concrete over here feels pretty good sometimes too.
I don't know. I don't know what it would be.
Oh, concrete stays a little colder in here.
Depending on the hats, you know. It's like a snapback or like an adjustable back hat. 9 times out of 10, I can't fit that hat. All my
Yeah,
hats that I wear regularly are like fitted hats. And
not
I wear
only are
a
they
size
tiny,
8.
but they're uncomfortable as hell. Not only are those hats small, but that little plastic thing, that's like very uncomfortable.
Oh, I can't even fit them, dude. If I put it on, it looks like I got like one of those little religious caps, you know. If my head's that big, if any snapback or like the adjustable backs, you know, type of hat, like maybe the polo style hats, yeah, none of them fit. They're all too small.
So I
It's
like
like
the do rags. Flame on 420. What's up, Sherry? That's why I just like to basically tie a rag around my skull.
all my
Carl,
hats are fitted hats.
what is your temperature?
My temperature right now,
Yes.
it's gone down, but earlier it was in the 80s, the high 80s, I think. Yeah, I know you're laughing at me. I get it. Yeah, it's going to be even worse when it does get over 100 here. That shit's miserable for me. That's when I'm going to fucking just go dig a hole and lay in dirt.
Well, welcome to our world, Carl.
Yeah, they thought I was Jewish, Cheryl. I'm like, man, that's a tall Jewish guy. And nah, it's just somebody got me a little hat. You know, it's just a little hat.
I don't know, man. You look like kind of like one of them Haji or something. You put one of those on, you know?
I know I confuse everybody. Not only am I confused, but everyone around me is confused. You know.
That could be used to your advantage.
200 and a lot of different things. I guess it just depends. I know some places are having like more, I guess, more in-person events or different things, more just historical references. You know, uh, I guess kind of looking back, flashbacks, maybe different events where we are now, maybe versus 250 years ago. A lot of different things, but you know, it is true.
A fan is good, Blue. I got good news about all this. I found out that solar rig I got going will operate a fan all day long, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, you gotta have some airflow.
What's up, Jerry? Yeah, I got these little like USB fans. They were only like $5, dude. They're like brand new, little metal. They look like truck fans, like they used to put in the old semi trucks. And they're sweet, dude. They don't take much power. I actually like these little buggers.
Yeah, I got some like that. I even got a couple of those like they're lightweight, man. It don't weigh nothing. Even with your power tool battery in it, it don't weigh nothing. But they're like portable little plastic job site fans.
Oh,
Now
I
they're not.
seen those.
Now
Pittsburgh makes those.
you're not like gonna like uh, change a whole room. But if you're like working on a job site or something, or standing there like I'm working on a panel box, I can set it right on the panel box, and I got me a nice little breeze. Or you're sitting there working at your workstation, you know, it gives you a nice. And they come in handy. You know, most of them they got
Dude,
like a
I
little
was
set.
just looking at one. I was just looking at one. I think there's a couple people that make them. I think DeWalt and Pittsburgh
Yeah,
Tools make.
pretty
Which
much
one you
all
got?
the whatever your tool brand is that you get, they've got one for it. Ryobi, Milwaukee, DeWalt, Rigid.
I got
Rigid
Cobalt Tools.
Cobalt. Yeah, every every tool manufacturer's got one now. They all got a radio, a fan, They got to just compete with all the other ones just coming out with all the other gizmos and attachments, you know.
Here comes the fire brigade. Yeah, the one thing I'm looking for is a solar powered fan. Bonnie said she's even got one of them, but I can't find one anywhere around these parts.
Um, Solar powered fan. Well,
Yeah, they make little like camp ones or something.
they have. Yeah, I hadn't looked into it myself, but yeah, I know at one time you could buy like these little kits for them, or maybe you could find uh, some type of little solar type of device and a fan, or like you was just talking about a USB, where you could just plug that fan directly into that little solar thing or whatnot.
Yeah, that's what
Uh,
I'm doing now. It'll work for this, but what we're talking about would be kind of nice for portability. What's up, Jerry? We got
yeah,
Kim Haggerty. Yeah, dude, I've got a 3 battery system now, and man, I like it. I've got the vehicle's got the regular battery you start it with. Then I can hit that switch I showed you, and then it goes to the auxiliary batteries. But now I've got a third source where I ran the solar panels to a third battery independent of all the others. So now I can collect solar all day and never even get into the other source. It's nice. It's
Yeah.
working out nice. I like it.
Carl, it's not solar powered. It's what y'all just said. Like you can get one of those little $10 solar chargers and then plug it in.
like a
Oh,
power bank.
okay. Well, you had me looking for something that didn't even exist. Now I got to invent it.
Yeah, you can
But
get you some little solar power banks. Is that what
yes,
you're talking about, Bunny?
yes, and one of them is USB, and then the other one is battery operated.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
want the battery operated. You guys ought to see the pile of batteries I've got from the year of being here. Because there's no electricity. I either use, and I bought a lot of little
yeah,
gizmos and stuff. So the batteries, I swear, I could probably fill a 5-gallon bucket with just batteries that are piling
Yeah,
up.
and those were both at Walmart. JW Survival is the one that told me about those.
there ain't no
Yeah,
type of way they can reclaim them or like. There's nothing that
You
they can
mean
do to like
batteries?
recycle them or reuse them or nothing.
Well, there is a way, and that's why I keep them. Because if you ever really had to, you can literally tape batteries together in lines, and if they're got even a partial charge, you keep doing that and you
Yeah, that'd
keep
be enough
going.
for a jump or like a trickle charge.
Yes, I've actually used them, and then I've got some rice lights that. I gotta tell you guys, this is probably you should all get this for your kit. If you have a kit, get this for your kit, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay,
All right.
they sell these little things. They're called rice lights, and they run on like AA batteries, 3 AA batteries, and they run forever on a couple batteries. Okay, you put new batteries in them, and they will last for
Is it like
maybe a couple.
the little
Well,
strands of lights? They're real tiny and almost like little
yeah,
lightning bugs.
yeah. Yes. Now, what I do with them is I put them all in a little jar. I clean out a
Yeah,
little plastic
I've
jar,
seen people
and
do that.
I just wad them up inside the jar. And I take my old batteries that are going bad on my other stuff, and then switch them to that. And they will run those rice lights for weeks. I'm telling you, weeks they will run on light, just enough like a little candle glowing, you know. And what I do is I use my batteries up on those, and I've got all kinds of lighting, but those are the most efficient lights you can have. You put 2 new AA batteries in a rice lights, and they will stay on for weeks. I'm not even bullshitting you.
Yeah, you can still find things like that at like your Dollar Tree or like your dollar store sometimes, you know.
Right, but you could also have like a AA battery flashlight. You got to, and your batteries go dead in your flashlight and it hardly works or it's really dim. You take those
Yeah,
batteries out, put it in the rice lights now, and it'll be bright for weeks. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a way of using up those batteries, getting the most out of your battery, kind of deal. and that is survival tips with Carl. All right, for the night. Oh, I got another one that I know you'll appreciate, Watt. You know the mini mag lights, right?
Yeah.
I've always used them since like late '70s. I've had the mag lights, but the mini mag lights, the double A's, they also make a single cell triple A mini mag light, and that runs on one triple A battery. Just a little itty bitty thing goes on your keychain, right? Well, if you had dead batteries in your double A mag light, you can switch out the battery or the bulb from the single cell flashlight, put that bulb in your double cell flashlight, and you'll have hours and hours more of light. It's another way to get the most juice out of your cells.
Yeah. I got some like that to take batteries. I got some that's like you can recharge them. But some of them do come in handy, especially the ones like with the magnetic backs, working around different things, or like in mechanic rooms, you may have to have the lights off or something.
Yeah.
Comes in handy being able to just hang the light up anywhere or anywhere there's
Well,
metal anyway.
let's say you have a device that has multiple batteries in it, and you use it for however long you normally last, and now your batteries are dead, and you replace all the batteries in that device. The thing is that not, believe it or not all those cells are going to equally go dead. Meaning there could have been a couple cells in those batteries that were better still than the other ones. There could have been 2, 3 dead batteries in it. So I take a tester, and instead of just like you said, throwing the batteries away, always test them, because you might have some that have enough power. You build up a few of those, dude. You could run that device again on those if you save up a
Man,
few.
I remember in the '90s. Well, you probably remember it too. I remember in the '90s, certain batteries, or it might have been one brand, they had where if you pressed it, well, you pressed with your thumbs, like you had to squeeze like you was gonna break the battery in half. But if you pressed them two little buttons, the line would light up and it would show you how much juice was left in the battery. Remember that?
Oh yeah, both Duracell and Energizer did that for a
Yeah,
while.
dude. Yeah, dude. Just like this, a whole generations of people's thumbs just got calloused trying to sort through and figure out if they had enough juice in their batteries. Oh
Well,
man.
also if you store batteries, put them all in the same direction. Put them in like a little Tupperware thing where you can find just the right Tupperware size
Yeah.
that'll hold whatever size battery you
I
need.
got one of them things one time.
And if you store them all together in the same direction where they don't fall around, because man, they jumble up in a container and it's hitting negative to positive, and shit happens in there. Right? You might kill your battery just by storing them wrong.
It was one of them what store was it? It wasn't a dollar store. It was the I don't know if y'all have the store in y'all's area or you ever heard of it, but we got
What?
this store called Five Below. And I
Oh
think
no, I
allegedly
didn't
like everything in there is
into it.
like under $5. They got all different type of stuff, but I got one of them little battery boxes where you could put like I don't know like 1,000 batteries, and it's got like it's almost like a socket set box, you know, but for batteries. I
Mhm.
know you've seen the thing.
Yeah, I think I have, but we
Yeah.
don't have that store. I thought you were going to talk about Radio Shack. Oh, how I miss Radio
Yes, they
Shack.
sell all type of stuff in there. The kids love it because they sell all different type of candies and stuff in there. But yeah, everything in there is like under $5. It's almost like
Well,
a dollar store in a way, kind of.
I'm always kind of like searching for a better way. Like just yesterday, I was in Walmart and I bought some Energizers. They're like damn $10 for 8 of them. All right, we're not talking cheap for Energizers or Duracells. You're going to pay for it, but they got a brand. I just spotted it yesterday. They might have been there all along, but I got great value batteries, an 8-pack. Right, and it's 8-pack of double A's, and it was $2.55 for 8 of them, compared to like $10 of the Energizers. Okay, so I bought a few of both, and I already tried the great value. I'm not impressed. I ain't buying them suckers ever again already. They didn't last bright at all very long. Live and learn.
Keeps them fresh. Keeps your batteries fresher. You know.
Do that
Allegedly.
with cigarettes. Do that with
Don't want them
cigarettes too.
spoiled.
Take your cigarettes and put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Your carton. Stick them in there.
I've got some rechargeables too. You know, I've got
Neutralizes the charge, you know. Don't let the charge get out till you're ready to fire it up. Battery or cig.
for certain things. The rechargeable batteries are worth it too. I've got those. If I'm running the truck, I'm usually charging the batteries.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I had this buddy, and he could swear up and down that if he knew how to tell if a battery was good or if it had a certain charge in it. Like he said he could drop it on the ground a certain way, and I don't ever remember how he said he figured it out. But a lot of times, sometimes it was true. I don't know if it was just luck or I don't know. But he could drop it a certain way, and he'd be like, "Oh no, that battery's dead." And he'd drop it, and he would do something else. And, oh, that was a good one. Here you go. Here's two good ones. I'm like, I don't know.
You know what I remember, especially back in the 1900s, was the likeliness of your batteries leaking. You know, in the 60s and 70s and stuff, those Rayovacs, all those old batteries, you know, those often would leak. Okay, the metal on the sides of them would break open, or they would swell, and it would eat your devices. I remember having to clean out my jam box, my boom box battery compartments and shit because the fucking faulty batteries.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, you'd open something up and the whole inside would be corroded out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Looked like it was trying to procreate another battery or something. It just went bad.
Oh yeah, I see them creating like cave, you know, stalactites and shit
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, agates.
Yeah.
You got an agate growing in your remote, especially them old remotes from like maybe like the late '80s to '90s. Them old like the universal remotes. Oh yeah. I don't know.
I've still had some do that. But I've
Hey,
been
A lot
getting,
less of them. I haven't. I got, like I said, I got a bucket full of them, and none of them are leaking yet. Back in the day, there'd have been probably an inch or two of fluid in the bottom of the bucket. You know.
well, I've been getting the Energizer batteries.
Those ain't cheap, man. The Duracell and Energizers are always competing with each other, but they are the top of the line in cost.
Yeah. The more you buy, the cheaper they are.
In the latest analytics, it showed that is the third most said phrase here on Watts World. That sounded strange. Number three. It's a beautiful thing, you know. That sounded strange.
That's going to go up in the
And that's
poll.
usually how people found it. You know, how did you find it here? Most people say it was looking up strange stuff or open panel. You know, strange stuff and open panel. So
Dang, Jerry, I don't know if you must have been on the sub the remote. Remote's doing all right. He posts so much stuff, boy. Let me tell you, he's all right. He's a busy body.
up there in Canada, remote.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jerry must not be following him, but Remote's been back. He's been doing live streams and posting a lot of stuff.
Mm.
No doubt. Especially if it ain't your own. You know what I mean?
You know, I would expect nothing else from you, Virginia.
You do that with your own tapestries. Now, if you've got permission, so be it. But yeah, you can't overuse someone else's tapestries. Where do you think you are? Where do you think you just, you know? I don't even know a reference. Wherever they make rugs, wherever they make the rugs, I don't know.
Don't you make your own rugs? The upholstery shop owner here 2 years ago got this gizmo. It kind of looks like a little miniature machine gun or something. Okay, and you load it up with yarn, and it cuts the yarn and jabs it into the canvas, and you can make your own rugs. And we were doing like pictures and stuff.
Oh
You can make
yeah, what do they call that? I've seen videos of people doing that.
He got the industrial version, but he's one of those guys. He buys something cool like that, either lends it out or stores it, and it never gets used again. So it's already disappeared. I don't know where it went, but it was cool for a minute.
Yeah, yeah, you can make all different type of. It's pretty much limitless, whatever you feel like doing. But yeah, you take that little whatever that device is, that yarn gun, and just
Yeah, yeah. There was some tricks to it. We fucked up the canvas the first time we tried it, but then we figured it out.
there's a lady out at the flea market. She makes different type of things with yarns, crochets, knitting, um, different things. But yeah, sometimes she'll sell. She does that. I've never seen her do it, but she sells it, different things like that, or she'll make them if somebody wants to has an
Now, Pat,
idea. She'll make
that's
it.
exactly what it's like. We used to get these things called latch hook rug kits back in the 70s. You could make your own rug. You sit there with a little
Yeah, it's
handle.
almost like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's automatic, Pat. They got them now. They look like a machine gun. It goes.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
not
the
like.
thing they
Yeah,
use to change
it
your
used to look
tires
like
out.
the crochet hooks you would make it with or something.
Yeah, I did those those latch hook rug kits, man. I remember doing those in the 70s. You could buy them at like Ben Franklin and shit. They would come in designs. I think I did a horse. It was like a picture of a horse running in a field or something.
hmm Majestic steed galloping
Yeah,
through the
that's
meadows.
exactly what it was. I did it in tan and brown and blacks and shit.
When
Who
was
knows?
this?
That was in the 70s, man. It
Oh, dang.
definitely.
You was ahead of your time, dude. Well, no, not really. Things like that
Dude,
have a
I
way of
can
recycling,
macrame. Look, no, no, no. Just so you know, I'm a dude, but I can macrame. I can crochet. I can needlepoint. I can do it all.
I don't know what half of that stuff is, but I like it. I support it.
Well, it's
I
all
don't know
about
what a
the
good
knots.
macro
I
mania.
know. I probably know like a couple hundred knots. All right, which is a lot because 40 knots is a little chart they used to give people to study. But I know it's all about the knots. Why? You got to know the knots.
Yeah. Tie the knot. That's what they say. Tie the knot. Yeah, there's
Well, I
this
never
one channel he
tried the
goes to, and
knot.
he shows like
No,
all the different type of
no.
knots. Different survival knots, easy knots to know for different scenarios. It's good to know,
Well, on
especially if
that
you're
part,
just
I've been
camping or
tramp.
surviving or
No, I didn't
whatever.
never tie that knot. I stayed I've been a tramp all my life. I didn't tie that knot, but I know how to tie a lot of other knots,
You can tie your shoes.
and I can do it fancy as a motherfucker. I can lace your laces on your shoes like
Huh?
5 different ways.
Yeah, you think that's good, but and more? Can you do and more though?
I actually dated an Ann and a Moore. So there was a girl with her last name Moore and a girl with her two Anns with their first name Ann. So I could do an Ann Moore. I'm sure I could if I wanted to.
I don't know. I just looked it up in the history books, and I think Pat is accredited to saying that first back in 1973. So unless you can confirm previously, we've got that in our notes confirmed right now.
See, Pat, she's got skills too, man. I'm a hell of a
You did the
sandwich
thing
man.
now.
You just got to be all around. You got to be well rounded.
You don't want to
That's
get in
how.
a knitting competition. Shoot, they have you sewed up like a mummy.
Dude, I can even make netting. All right, I had an old sailor teach me how to make hammocks when I was a kid. All right, he sat down and showed me how to make I can make fish
Oh, I
nets and
support a
hammocks.
good hammock.
Yeah,
If it can
well, a
support me,
good
I'll
hammock
support
will
it.
support you right back.
Exactly. Touche. Shoot, I broke mine. I need to get me another one. I'm glad you mentioned that. I need to get me another one. I should have got one before the spring got here, but yeah. The hammock's good, but it was like one of them, I knew it wasn't going to last long. I got it like on a gimmick deal, so it
I
was what it
can never
was.
sleep in a hammock again.
It was like the
Okay.
one of those metal ones, the metal frame ones that kind of fold out and you clip the,
Yeah, I can lay in them for a while, but I can
yeah,
never, ever, ever sleep in a hammock.
you
All
couldn't.
right. I listen. Back in the 80s, I wanted this bad. I got me. There's several different eras, but I got a 1950 jungle hammock. U.S. military jungle. I wanted it bad. It was expensive back in the 80s, okay, and rare, okay. And I finally get this hammock, and I immediately take it to this tree I know of by the railroad tracks in town, and it's like 35 feet up in the air. I tie this hammock up there, up in the top of the tree, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend my night up there watching my buddies party on the street and all that shit. They can't tell I was up there. Nobody could see me. I was up there by myself, just digging it. And well, everything was fine till morning. And I had it where you could. I took a couple pieces of rope and went from the treetop side to side so I could stand on like a rope bridge to get out to the hammock, to get into the hammock. You know what I'm saying? It was cut. You got a rope to stand on and one to hang on to, so you can help get yourself into the hammock, right? Well, I get in that hammock and I slept good, I guess, because the morning came. I didn't expect what was next, but I woke up. And have you ever woke up in bed with a stiff neck or a stiff back so bad you had to crawl out of bed? Have you ever been there?
That was my nickname in college, Stiff Richard.
Well, I tell you, I woke up in that hammock 35 feet off the ground with one of the worst stiff necks I've ever had in my life. And I fucking had, dude, I felt like I was some kind of acrobat trying to get the hell out of that bed without killing myself. You know, it bends me the wrong way to sleep in a hammock. I got to lay fucking flat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a
Welcome up,
lounger.
Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh yeah. No, you were talking about hammock in a tree. How about a porta potty in a tree with spiral steps going up to the porta potty in the tree?
Oh, heck yeah.
That'd be a hard pass for me.
Good acoustics.
Probably never heard of that.
No.
Yeah.
That would be a hard pass for me.
Porta potty in a tree with spiral steps going up to the
Well,
tree.
I'd be more worried about being under that. What's going on, Sigmund? I got a porta potty story that you can look up online if you're really good, and it's fucked up. This is a fucked up story, folks. Okay, there was a guy here in this area. He was named Dale, and he died. He was these younger kids like mentor and one of their fathers, and so they started having these parties called Dale Fest, and they were trying to get up enough money to like get him a tombstone and everything, and it never happened. But there's this thing that happened at Dale Fest. All right, this girl and this guy went off into a porta potty together. It's like 3 or 4 porta potties next to each other, and the dude was married to another girl, and he's in this porta potty fucking some chick, and they're both completely naked, right? When the wife finds out what's going on and goes and this is all on videotape. This is all on the internet, okay? But the wife finds her husband in this porta potty fucking this chick, and they're all both completely nude when the wife pushes the porta potty over, and it pulls 2 naked people out covered in shit, okay? And that's when the wife beats the fuck out of the other naked girl, and she just walks away with hundreds of people watching her, just walks down the fucking highway naked, covered in shit, crying and alone because she was fucking somebody's husband. It's one of the wildest videos you can ever find on the internet.
Was that like 1970s, but remade into the now? Because that sounds like 1970s, man. Like Alice Cooper stuff right there. You know, the Poison guy, the guy that sang Poison song, and Hey Stupid. You know, Alice Cooper.
Well, I know very well. He's from this area too. I met Alice Cooper in '75.
Arizona, you're in Arizona, Cameo. Carl.
No, I'm about 45 miles north of Detroit. Alice Cooper was born in the same hospital I was.
Oh, really? I thought he went down to Arizona though. Doesn't he live there now?
Well, I don't know, but he's originally from Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that, man.
Poison running through your veins. Yeah, we got our originals around these parts is Bob Seger, Kid Rock, Ted Nugent. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch that come from this area, really. Eminem.
I agree,
You
Pat.
know,
That sounds like a shitty story.
that was a shitty story, and it's on the video. Oh my god, man! Can you imagine?
It was literally shitty.
It's shitty.
I wasn't even at the party, Virginia. These guys come to work the next day and go, "Oh my god, look at this video! I don't need to see that. Oh my god! Oh god!" It was one of those moments, Virginia. Yeah, I didn't even go to that stupid party because I knew it was going the fuck on. They never even got him his tombstone because the money they raised kept getting ripped off every fucking time they did it. Bunch of little fuckers.
You need to teach me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Teach me the ways of the sound effects. I must know these ways. Oh, if I create my own, it's over.
Hey,
Remember that
Wildlife.
black dude?
Speaking of sound effects, man, have you heard of the Christian King debate channel for Christian debates? I don't know if you're religious or not, but he has real good sound effects, man, and his visuals
No,
too.
you guys got me thinking about that black guy who was doing the sound effects with his mouth, where he could do like Jimi Hendrix. Excuse me while I kiss this fly.
Oh, the
Yeah,
guy
he
from
was
the
in
what
all
was
the
it, Police Academy movie?
Academy movies. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Nobody could beat his.
Oh, Scatman John.
dude-
Remember
that dude-
Scatman John?
yeah.
I'm a scat man. He can do it with his mouth. Remember Scatman John? No, he said with his mouth pretty much. But he's dead. He died in '99. Died of colon cancer.
Damn, R.I.P.
But he was
What
cool.
about the
That
guy
was
from a
fun.
Police Academy? Is he still with us?
I don't know, man, but
I believe so.
that
Yeah,
was
his name
probably
is Mike.
fake. That was
Yeah,
he probably
he's
faked that shit. It's hard to believe the guy could make noises like some of the shit he was doing.
He is 67. His name is Michael Winslow.
67. Okay.
Yeah, besides Police Academy, he was in Spaceballs, Cheech and Chong's next movie.
I wonder if they're going to bring him back in the new Spaceballs.
I don't know.
I don't
Gotta
know,
bring him
but
back, man.
67. Oh my gosh, 67 is just so old. Oh my goodness.
Damn, I'm only 7 years away from that. That ain't old.
Come on, man. He's
No,
only
not.
7 years away, bro. Don't take that 7. It's lucky number 7. 67 is the new something, you know?
I don't even think I was being facetious because I don't think 67 is old, man. I think 90 is old now. That's the new old.
Yeah,
90 is
That's
old.
too old. 90 to 100.
Dang, my uncle's 90, bro. What are you saying now?
He's
Man, that's
old.
hitting home, bro. That's hitting real close to home.
Moonshine was going on. Yeah, that's
The
yeah.
moon.
Ain't no
Always
getting
good to
around
see
it.
you,
You're
man.
fucking 90. You can't sugarcoat that shit, Watt. There's just
Jimmy Carter could. He lasted
Damn,
until he was
well,
100.
It shut us down, boys.
Somebody
We had a
didn't
good run.
Somebody
We had a
didn't
good
use the
run
safe
here at
word.
Watts World.
run,
Somebody didn't use the safe word. They're after us.
run.
That was a close one.
Virginia,
I got
that's
away.
wrong.
I shook them.
Virginia,
I put in
that's
the
wrong.
cheat code like GTA. I got all my stars removed.
The safe word is Tom,
Copper.
but it doesn't work unless you skip on the carpet holding a battery while making a sandwich. You
Ooh,
left
that
that
was a
part
close
out.
one, boys. You almost lost me.
So, Carl,
Maybe. Uh-oh, here it comes again. Here comes my my aunt. It's customary where she questions me with something.
I'm not questioning you with something.
Navy, good to see you.
I'm telling you,
Oh, now she's fucking telling me. Oh, all right. Okay, I'm ready.
in Japan, people are living to over 100, eating sushi 2 meals a day, every day, which should be causing
They said that about the yodelers and the yogurt too. Where are they now?
but the secret is that they use 2 bottles The first one kills the parasites in the body, and the second one flushes the parasites out of the body.
You better get some charcoal with that too to help get it as a delivery to get it out of your system too. But I can't eat anything Asian.
But
Wouldn't help me
those
at all.
people are healthy. Their mind is intact. They are working their rears off at 90.
Right, but they're not the only culture that does that. Tibetans, up in the Himalayas, there's some that are like that. Some of the folk in India are like that. Then you got the Slavics. There's a lot of Slavics that even like Yugoslavians are known to live that long.
Oh
But
yeah, I love a good Slavic.
yeah,
How about Vietnam?
but it's
Vietnamese.
lifestyle choices, Bonnie. But also they're poisoning the fuck out of us here in the United States, so we ain't got half a chance. So
Shout out to South Korea.
That
Shout
too.
out to South Korea.
South Korea, Vietnamese,
Yeah. Shout out to the
Philippines.
Vietnamese.
Philippines too.
The Philippines. Yeah. Shout out to the Philippines. No doubt.
I'm not sure I want to live that long. I mean, I
long?
love life. I love life. Don't get me wrong. Every second's precious and all that. But
Oh, you're gonna live to 150 just because you said it.
dude, that's
Jimmy
gonna
Carter
be
lasted
that's
to
gonna
100, man.
fucking hurt. Can you imagine being 150 and having to get through your day? That shit's
Come
gonna
on,
hurt.
man. Yeah. Like Johnny said, Jimmy Carter spun the Price is White wheel and he made it to 100. He was just a peanut farmer from Georgia.
Well, shit's gonna
And a
hurt.
house contractor too, and a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. But he could be the kimchi though. Maybe you got to get your kimchi intake up. Mine's moderate. It's not really low and it's not high. It's moderate.
Dude,
How
I'm
about
not
you?
even complaining. I'm old and I'm lucky. I'm thankful. Fucking, I love, I'm doing good. I don't need no Kamichi, whatever the fuck that is.
How about your
Maybe get some
serotonin
bigger
levels?
batteries.
Your you got to level up your serotonin levels so your heart rate stays level and low. Not tachycardia style over 100 beats a minute. That's not good. Sitting down. Gotta have.
I don't
Yeah,
even think about
I've been
that
having
shit.
some of those. I've been having some of those issues in the last couple of days. I've been having tachycardia. My heartbeat got up to like almost 200.
Yeah, that's crazy,
If
dude.
if my heart rate starts
good.
getting crazy like that, Ken, if my heart rate starts getting crazy like that, I slow it down. I learned to control my heart rate. I learned to control my heart rate when I was a teenager.
Have you tried hydroxyzine, man, and buspirone? Those two are not addictive. They actually will level off your serotonin.
No, listen, I'm over 60, right? But I haven't been to a doctor since 1984. That was just to get the needle out of my foot. I don't take any kinds of medications. I don't use even aspirins. I use nothing like that. I don't need it, don't want it, and I'm thankful that I don't need it.
Hey, Carl, what do you call it? Aspirin's only the bark of a willow tree, man. It's not a bad prescription.
No, I know you can get pure
Mm.
aspirin from willow twigs and leaves and stuff like that. I'll do, but I don't use pharmaceuticals of any type.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I quit.
But no,
I quit everything they prescribe for me. I don't take any of it anymore.
Well, I'll just say buspirone and hydroxyzine, they're not addictive. They're the least addictive, and they actually lowered my pulse rate down from like 165 sitting down to just like down to 65 or 70. So it's pretty amazing for that. Just don't take too much of it because it kills your liver, kills your kidneys. Try it for 3 weeks, and if it levels it off, then don't take it again,
But I will say this. I used to be on blood pressure meds. I'm not anymore, but for the last probably 6 months, my blood pressure about average runs around 117 over 65.
That's perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, somebody did take my blood pressure just for shits and giggles because he was convinced I was going to need somebody's help. And he took my blood pressure, pumped it up or whatever, and he says, "Holy shit, dude, you're perfect." So I still ain't worried about it. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I ain't went back since I left the Institute.
For blood pressure, though, man, like if you just chew, like say if you get really high blood pressure and lightheadedness, just chew an aspirin, man, and it'll lower it down. Don't swallow. Just chew it for 5 minutes. Let it seep
I
in your
got
bloodstream.
aspirins in my medical kit. I haven't used aspirins in years, actually. So, but if somebody else needs them, my God, and if I did need them, like, really needed them, because I don't do them, they would work. That's the thing. It's like, if you don't do all these medications all the time or something, and then you take a Tylenol, that motherfucker's probably going to actually work. You take them all the time, and you're going to get used to them, and they aren't
Yeah.
going to hardly do it.
The only medication that I try to keep on hand, and I haven't had to use it since before December when I had my stent put in, that is nitroglycerin.
Well, I mean, you can use that for other stuff. I got books about that.
Yeah, they got a pill for everything,
Yep.
If not, just hold their beer, They'll cook one up for you.
Funny we're on this conversation, man. I like to get up on Saturday mornings and watch something entertaining. Not news, not political, not controversial, just something entertaining. Usually
Yeah.
cartoons, all right? Like fucking something like the Avengers or something, all right? I'm down. I just need an hour or so of that in my day on a Saturday morning, right? Well, I'd be son of a bitch. In that hour, they tried to sell me fucking 15 different kinds of fucking pills and medications. They got one for, you're right, they got one for everything. Are you feeling depressed? We got a pill for it. May cause diarrhea, can cause death in some situations. Fuck your pills. I don't need that shit.
Yeah. If you start looking at all the side effects of all of them, you're like, hell no, I don't want to take any of them. That's why I quit everything.
They kill your liver and kidneys, man. Yeah, if you take them for too long. I was getting traces of blood in my bed, but disappeared.
That's what I don't
I was on blood thinners for 6 years, but I quit taking them. I just do aspirin.
I got a basic question for everybody here. Just a thought. All right. How the fuck did our species survive for fucking millennia without hypodermic needles and pharmaceuticals?
Yep. I'm actually got a book I'm fixing to order called the Old Home Apothecary. 250 natural.
I know that book.
Yep.
I know that book. My mom had that book.
I'm fixing to order it probably next week.
Yeah, that organic shit is going to cost you. I just got like these organic bananas.
Yeah.
Everything's like in its own price range. The milk I buy is like fucking $8-9 a gallon for that organic shit.
Cinnamon, actually, I'm saying subject, but cinnamon with aspirin, that'll really lower your blood pressure if you need it, man.
Yep, cinnamon's good.
There you go.
I want to live with my cinnamon girl.
Yeah, it's like the other night I was sitting in there watching TV, and you know how like sometimes you're sitting there, it's time to lay down, but you're just kind of sitting there fixated, and your eyes is getting heavy. Then I see this commercial, about the dry. Man, it's like, man, is it really washing me? Is it really telling me I need to go to bed? And it's this whole commercial about the drive. You get these drops for the dry, and then it goes into the whole spiel, and it's showing these people doing all these just extraordinary things. It shows this guy getting ready to blast off into space. He couldn't go to space before because he had dry. Now he can get these drops, and now he can just do all these amazing things now with his life. But then it goes into the side effects, may cause possible ear leakage, may cause possible loss of sight, smell, and taste, could cause possible anal leakage. I'm thinking, man, all this for some dry, This guy must have really wanted to go to space. I don't know. It hit me too hard. I just cut it off and went to bed. That was my sign. I started questioning it. I have it. You know what I mean? I said, well, I'm definitely not signing up for that free trial. Let's see here.
I would have a
Oh,
cow.
I see y'all in the background. I'm bringing y'all up. Let's see here. Do it one at a time here. Can't do a mass exodus. It'd be too chaotic, You wouldn't know how to handle everything that's being processed. But yeah, I started questioning everything.
Do
Or
we got
even
the
like
Venusian,
the
is the
random
Venusian
jobs.
regulator? Do we have the Venusian regulator joining us?
What's the question?
I thought we had
No,
the Venusian regulator.
now
Welcome
we
up,
have
Sasha. Welcome up, Michael.
Welcome to the
Carl.
bunny farm.
Carl Tasha's from Africa.
South
Africa.
Africa.
Pretty
Right
cool, huh?
on. Yeah. You can have some of the most cool anti-hijacking vehicle devices in South Africa. You can put flamethrowers underneath your truck that if somebody tries to hijack your vehicle, you can fry them right there on the side of your truck. You got some cool shit down there.
That's a flamethrower is on my list because I saw a video today of a tick chasing a guy. And I
Yeah,
was,
where he moved his foot and it turned and went the way he went.
what in the world? No. Flamethrowers.
Yeah,
There's a
it
place
was a
you can buy 'em.
very
You can
aggressive
legally
tick.
buy. No, that you can legally buy civilian flamethrowers now, Bonnie. I'll send you a link
I
later.
know.
They got some
Send
on
us what you
Amazon.
want.
I don't know about their grade or their quality, but yeah.
Here's the thing to think about if you've got a flamethrower though. Back in like World War II, they used them to weed out like the Japanese that were in tunnels and stuff. And they were effective. You would burn people alive with them, sure. But you got to realize you're wearing a pressurized tank of napalm on your back. So you were also a target. If
Oh,
you
no
got
doubt.
shot while you were wearing one of those flamethrowers, you go up like a Roman candle. Boom.
Yeah, I did that on Call of Duty. I always look for the guys with the flamethrowers.
What a way to exit.
I know.
I know. That's how I want my funeral, guys.
Talk
Just
about
so you
going up in
know.
smokes.
Listen, if when I die, I want you to strap me to a giant bottle rocket. Okay, light that motherfucker and just send me up there. I get a free ride, and then boom, you can just disperse me in the atmosphere. It'd be a cheap burial.
What about
Well,
100,000 bottle rockets? If we can't find one big one to tote could it be like how many will we need?
I don't
100,000
know.
could get
I
you
don't
up.
think if they all went off at once, maybe. But if they're just gonna go sit there and go snappity snap snap snap, that ain't gonna
We
make
don't
it
want to.
last.
Yeah, you just be spinning in a circle, dude, like you're doing a wheelie.
There's gonna be like a smoking
No, I
corpse
ain't,
falling to earth. That's
yeah,
gonna
we
be
ain't
like
gonna let that
thud.
happen, bro.
You know, you don't want that thud.
No, we don't want that, dude. Yeah, I didn't think that through too well. It's all right. So we do. We brainstorm here. We come up with things, We figure out why the guy got shot out of the cannon, A lot of little cannons would have just looked stupid, Where were you, Evel Knievel?
Robbie Knievel. Back in '99, he jumped the Grand Canyon. The sun.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Remember that
Yeah,
was on TV as a kid,
he's
like on
dead though.
ABC or CBS special.
Yeah, he's dead. He died at 55, man.
Damn, R.I.P. Robbie.
Yeah, no, he died here in Yuba City. He was up in Squim, Washington, where Cheryl lives. To go up to the Coast Guard up there. But yeah,
Damn.
his dad was from Butte, Montana, but yeah, was in Squim for a long time. Then he went down to Yuba City, close to me,
Life
right
of
here.
a Knievel.
Robbie and Evil, yeah.
Are there any Knievels left?
I don't
Any
know, man.
Daredevils left?
I'm not sure. I just know those two, man.
Damn.
You know, the early '70s. If you were a kid in the early '70s, they flooded you with Evel Knievel. They had toys. They had TV shows. They had specials. You heard about Evel Knievel like he was some. Today I would say you'd hear about Evel Knievel as much as some rapper or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna make that my rapping name, but I got into some legal trouble, Too many similarities, so I had to change it. That ultimately was one of the beginning downfalls of my rap career, Blew up too fast. I couldn't handle the fame. I just had to walk away,
like within the last decade, they came out with a reproduction of a 1972 toy. All right, it was a top seller in the early 70s. All it was Evil Knievel, like a bendy figure on a motorcycle that you would crank this thing up and it would launch the motorcycle and it would do jumps and whatever, right? Well, they remade that toy within the last decade. I mean, almost exactly like the original. And it's been one of the top selling toys because you got all these old guys that remember having that toy when they were a kid. Oh, I gotta have that, so they go and spend $50 on it. It was pretty popular, still popular.
Well, also, Toy Story 4 had that exact toy in it. I got a little girl, so I watch a lot of cartoons and stuff. But Toy Story 4 had that Evil Knievel toy, and that was his whole skit. Is that you just push him and he just goes off this little ramp and does a little lame jump through a hoop.
That was it. I could see it, man. I know the first Toy Story, but I don't think I've seen the rest of them. Now I'm gonna probably have to watch that.
They got a new one coming out, allegedly.
I was born the same year the first Toy Story came out.
Damn. Can't even remember what year that was. That's back in the 1900s, bro.
I know it.
Well, I don't have it anymore, but a family member, some almost 30 years ago, used to babysit that guy's kids in real life. Tim Taylor, whatever, the real dude though. He and they gave their kid a couple of these, and I ended up having one, but it was a chrome-plated Buzz Lightyear, like a foot tall figure they were selling in the stores. But because it came directly from that dude, it was chrome version. I should have kept that. It's probably worth a lot of money now.
I'd say it is. I'd say it's worth a lot of money.
He lived up in Traverse City, Michigan. Tim the Toolman Taylor. He lived up there for a while. I don't know where he is now.
Allegedly, Bonnie. Some could have been born in the 1800s, some 1900s, some the 2000s.
Y'all was talking about bugs.
So we've got a trifecta of hundreds here.
What about 1899? There's got to be a Japanese guy still around from 1899. The 1800s.
Let me tell you, youngsters, something. Back in the 1960s, we used to have to walk to school barefoot both ways during snowstorms, uphill.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with that, man. I'd probably dig a hole in the side of the road and just start a fire and just stay there.
Yeah.
No, dude. Actually, what I used to do is it was a mile from town. It was a mile from town to the junior high school. So what we used to do was stand on the corner, wait till the bus started to leave, and we'd grab onto the back of the bumper of the school bus, and we'd ski on our boots all the way a mile down the highway to the school, and on the back of the bus.
That's how people get to be, what's the word here? I'm looking for
exhaustion.
I saw several of my buddies roll off into the ditch, and it was funnier than fuck. Cars watching them crash off into the distance.
So it was
that's how people stayed ingenuitive.
That did.
Back in the day when they didn't have much, you just had to use what you have. And so you got to make something up. And people were very clever and made up a lot of stuff. But the more technology increases and the more we have access to everything, the dumber people get.
From the exhaust fumes.
Well, I think there's something in the water, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, there's definitely something in the water. More than one thing, more likely.
And the ocean fish, not the freshwater fish, not the lake fish.
I don't know that people are getting dumber. I saw a video also
You just
about,
answered your own statement. You just said, I don't know that people are getting dumber. See, you don't know that people are getting dumber. You just said it right off the bat.
but I saw a video of the, what was, when they first invented the Department of Education or whatever, and the plan was to dumb down everybody.
It's
So
called the dumbing down of America, Bonnie. It was an intelligent process.
and that was how many years ago? And
Mhm.
I've seen some very intelligent people since then, so I don't think it worked.
Well, I think that there's all kinds of different people. I'm damn sure it worked on some of them. You know what I mean? It just didn't work on everybody. Nothing ever does. It's just like we were talking about aspirin. I know people that aspirin wouldn't do a damn thing for them. You know, other people rely on it.
Even if
Well,
you mix cinnamon with aspirin, man, it should work a little bit.
You
well,
like
the
snorting
problem
that shit
is,
like the Southerners do down there with them their goodies and stuff, snorting their. You ever seen that?
What?
well, the
Yeah.
problem is
Been a while.
that when kids can just constantly use calculators, and I'm not saying that it's not a bad thing to use a calculator, but when a kid can use a calculator all the time or look up an AI answer to any question they want to or whatever, then they don't really have to use their own critical thinking any whatsoever. So in that aspect, a lot of people are getting dumber because they're not actually reading and using their mind.
And they're
You know,
susceptible to false information. That's
yes,
And
another
very
thing.
susceptible to false information as well.
but the school isn't teaching them. They're not teaching them how to write.
They
Real
took
right.
out cursive. They took out cursive some time ago. But
Yes.
you got to think. But you got to think the way we're advancing right now. And I hate to say it, but it's the same way with analog or anything else. It's obsolete. They don't need to write no more. You don't need to sign cursive because everybody's, dependent on a laptop that does everything for them. Appointments,
Dude,
whatever.
I'm obsolete. Okay, listen. Buck. I've come to realize that this world's moving right along and leaving people like us in the dust. It's that's the way this works. Who's using 8 tracks anymore? Only
Hardly
people who
anybody
really
even
want
knows what that is, even.
Right.
But it's not a necessity to function in life to have an 8-track. It's
Well, if music is, that it just means you're probably using a stick. You're probably beyond the fucking CD, or you got a song list downloaded. It's gone along. Man, think about that, Bonnie. In our lifetime, we went from 78, 45 to 33. We went from reel to reel to 8-track to cassette to CD. I mean, we saw lots of change in our lifetimes.
yes. But okay. So while we were on the trip, we stopped at a fast food restaurant. The total was $14.05, I think. I handed the girl no. Yes, it was $14.05. I handed the girl $20 and a nickel. And she stood there just looking at it, and then she looked at us and she said, I don't know how to put this in or it'll tell me how much change. And I
Yeah, they
said,
don't know how to count anymore.
$6. And so I'm thinking, okay, this girl looks like she's fixing to graduate high school or maybe already graduated high school. That is the parents for one, but the school not teaching what they need to know to function in this world.
Absolutely right, man. Do they even do home ec anymore? By any of your girls go through home ec or any of that?
with me, not
Yeah,
at
what about in
school.
the school system? What's up,
Yeah,
B Charming, Cola, James?
I think they took that out of the schools now. It was in school. It was in the schools when I was in high school. But
No wonder nobody can make their own damn sandwich anymore.
yeah,
I grew up. My dad, his mom died when he was real young, so he was raised by his grandparents, and he was born in the 20s. And he grew up in a dirt floor house with chickens and all this other stuff running around, running water. So he raised me up, you know, pretty old school because he was raised that way, and I'm grateful
How
for it
old are you?
because
How many decades old are you?
I'm 31.
All right.
Yes,
See, I
sir.
like that. I like having people like you and Watt, man. You guys are hanging out
Not
with
the
us.
youngest one on panel tonight.
Yeah, I know, but you guys, there's hope for the fucking world because of you young fuckers with a brain, man. That's the way
yeah.
I feel. This is good shit.
Well, what scares me almost more than anything is the fact that all of these people within my generation and the generations underneath me are one day going to be leaders of the world. And
It's a
that's
scary
pretty
thought.
terrifying. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I feel like my generation kind of dropped the fucking ball on that. I feel kind of guilty because we didn't got any fucking. Where's all the people you can look up to? Where's the role models from my generation? Because I don't trust hardly any of them. I mean, we've got Ted Nugent. That's about it.
Well, a lot of people in your generation had it rough because of those guys coming home, and what they went through.
Willie Nelson. You don't trust Willie Nelson, man?
No, I don't really trust Willie. I don't, man. I don't really. And I'd outsmoke that motherfucker anyways. I ain't scared of him in any way.
Oh, I want to see that.
Well, so do I.
I know
So
I can outsmoke him.
it's up to us to teach the younger ones the things that they need to know, just like my grandmother did me.
I ain't got no younger ones. So I'm just freewheeling it, man.
Well,
You can speak to somebody younger, and you could speak to someone
right
much
now.
younger that don't know how to tie knots or macrame, and teach them that.
That's why my son will be 30 next week. That's why I'm glad I brought him up right.
Well, now working for people, I've probably taught 100 people or more to how to sew. But I'll tell you this: out of all the years I've been sewing, out of 10 people that I tried to teach to sew, maybe 1 or 2 of them is capable. The other 8, you might as well just give it up. They go to cutting fabric or something.
Well, you see, I believe in Jesus. I don't know if anybody else here does, but me personally, I do.
Absolutely, I do.
Well,
I'm right there.
that's the same thing with Jesus. It's not about the hundreds that reject how to learn how to sew. It's about the ones that want to learn how to do it.
Well, it's kind of frustrating, man. I've worked with some younger guys, here over the years, and it's like, I don't look. It ain't no good for me to have to direct somebody what to do with their time. It takes away from what I'm doing. That's number one. I had a shop here some years ago, and somebody called me up. And I don't even know. Saw me online, and like, hey, I'm looking to be an apprentice. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, could I just come and hang out with you for a while and learn the trade? And I'm like, yeah, no. Well, why not? Well, because you're gonna fuddle me up, man. You're gonna mess things up for me. There's got to be some type of profit or something involved in an apprenticeship. You got to be able to like create an income for that person. I don't want to take that shit on. If they were family or something, that would be different. But what also, like Chat just said, I've got 3 upholsterers in this area that none of their offspring wanted to learn the trade. So now they're all like bummed because they built a fucking business up, and now when they're gone, it's gone. There's going to be no trace of it left, and that shit bothers them.
Well, that's the direction we're moving into the world. You know, things are exponentially changing, not just from like technology and all this other stuff, but also the weather. The weather's been very abnormal here lately, and everybody just shrugs it off as normal, but it's not. And a lot of things are going to disappear just off the face of the earth.
Like cobblers, try to find somebody to put a new sole on your boots these days.
Riding a horse. That's another
Yeah,
thing.
I was
Gotta
gonna
learn how
say,
to ride a horse.
just like 20 years ago, there was only like 5 farriers in Michigan. All right, there's a huge shortage of blacksmiths and shit, you know, or was. I think there's actually people taking that trade up. I think it's improved.
Well, Americans are too lazy. That's half of the problem. And people wonder why immigrants are ones getting jobs. It's because Americans are too lazy to go and do them.
Hold on a second.
And
Is it just me? I can barely hear you. Like something went wrong with the microphone.
can you hear me now?
That's better. That's
Okay.
better. What's
Yeah,
up,
it
Vinci?
happens all the time. But
Well, I just couldn't understand
Americans
what
are
you
too
were saying. I
lazy.
couldn't hear anything you were saying. That's all.
Well, Americans are too lazy to go and do a lot of jobs. So they wonder why immigrants get a lot of jobs, but that's because them immigrants work hard. Americans have, for a long time now, been encapsulated with the idea of like vacations, getaways, you know, an easy life, this and that. But nobody talks about working hard, working by the sweat of your brow, or, you know, actually picking up a trade like you was mentioning, building something you can be proud of. Everybody just wants to do what we're doing
I've been
now,
working
basically.
my ass off. I was just waiting for an opening to say this too, because a lot of the folks here know my status. I got to tell you all folks some good news. I have been working my ass off. I've got plenty enough money right now for all the new springs, the shocks. I even got enough now for the whole new exhaust system on the truck. I've got it all right now, and I got so much work coming and sitting here right now that probably I'm going to have that safety net, folks. I'm going to be on the road in no time. This shit's happening, folks. I got a pile full of money saved up.
You know,
Well,
I
go
guess
ahead. I'm sorry.
where is it that you live, Michael? What
I'm from West
state? You
Virginia.
don't have to tell me. Okay.
I'm from West Virginia.
So
Yeah.
I kind of thought that West Virginia people, I don't know, what you're describing, I don't see. My kids, my grandkids, they know how to crochet, they know how to ride horses, they know they know everything about a horse. We do have farriers, quite a few of them, so you can choose which one you like better. I don't know. Maybe it's different up north.
Well, also the communities or areas you live in, because as you know, Texas is
Yeah.
probably one of the most Republican states there is. So,
Well,
well,
not
used to be anyway.
yeah.
Thank
We got
But
Thank you, Cheryl. I want to ask Yankee something, man. How's it going? You Yankee right there, Yankee watchdog. It was gonna wasn't it you that was gonna go off grid? Aren't you in the process of doing that, Yankee? How's that working? Where you at in that project? 'Cause I know that's gonna change your world.
I would have thought you could have two people from the West Virginia region, in one stream. This is just
wow,
it's taking it to a level we didn't even know we could take it to here. You know,
What? Have
I've
you
heard of
thought about how many people you know in different states all over the country? I mean,
I
I
mean
think we got
that's
all.
like a beautiful joke in itself. A Georgian, an Alabama, a West Virginian, and a South African walked into a bar.
Yankee, dude, I just want to offer like conversation if you need it, Yankee. If you're really going to do that, I've been in that mode a long time. You need advice or any questions or anything, contact me, brother. Known you for
They was
years.
right. They was right with their comment that there isn't no good jobs here. Practically, the only jobs in West Virginia are good ones anyway. Are normally either coal mining or the medical field. That's pretty much it. Um, as you know, well, I don't know if anybody knows or not, but West Virginia is one of the only states that's lost population since 1950. And there's a lot of regions in West Virginia, and you go through them, it's like third world countries because it's lost like 80% of its population in certain counties, which is sort of a good thing because the population's gone. That means the wildlife can come back, but it's a lot of desolation.
Oh no, I remember in 1987 walking up 77 out of North Carolina into West Virginia. It was some of the prettiest land I've ever walked through. I went up through, up 77 and I paralleled the highway through the mountain ranges and I found an abandoned area where it was full of houses that were still furnished that were abandoned in the 1950s. The highways bought out. I mean, a couple dozen homes up in the tops of them mountains. It was just one of the most fantastic adventures I've ever had walking through West Virginia.
Well, hell, I'd like to have that adventure myself.
See, and that's, I don't know why, but so the what are they called? The Fortune 500 companies? Is that what they're called? Anyway,
Yeah, I believe so.
they're all moving to Texas. And so the population in Texas has grown considerably. And then we got all these companies and they actually do have jobs. One of them, I can't remember what it was, just took on like 5,000 something employees. And that's when people say they can't find a job, that's not true. There's so many jobs out there.
But I don't want to work for anybody ever again. Okay.
Right.
That's the
I'm
thing about
saying,
me. It's no, I know, I get what you're saying too, but a job. All right, what I was doing here for like the last couple of years, working for the upholstery shop, I was making an hourly rate, and I'm making him lots of money when I'm working for him. Now that there's no middleman, I'm back to working for myself. I'm making all the money off the profit. Okay, and it's a whole different realm. I could go from, a $500 week. Now I could have a $2,500 week. And it's just because it's all on me, no middleman, and it's a beautiful thing. If you have your own skill, like if you were a farrier, okay, now you can cruise around to whatever farms or ranches and make that money and work as much as you want, whatever time of the day you want. Because that's what I'm doing now. It's like, what's why I'm awake right now is because it was so fucking hot today. Now it's cool. I feel energized. You know what I mean? I feel like I could go. I feel like I could get something done right now. So even in the middle of the night, sometimes I'll start working on a job, get that shit done, make some more money. Not this is it feels pretty fucking good, getting somewhere. You know how I'm living, so I got very little overhead. So this is the time to shine, folks. I'm out of that fucking rut. I don't have anything to worry about financially right now. Everything's paid up. I got plenty to pay for everything. Plus, I got the money I needed to fix the truck. That mobility. Now, like I said, I get the new springs and shit on this truck. I'm gonna buy a trailer, guys. I found a trailer, and it's gonna have my sewing machine and generator and everything's gonna be on the trailer now. But I'll be able to roll through these states with if I have enough money in my pocket to take care of any problem or whatever. I could roll to whatever marina needs canvas repair or bike meets and do patchwork and leather repairs and all that. I could jump around to surplus stores. It's coming, man. I can feel it coming. And I'm going to do it all where you all see it, you know?
So, but to get back to the Texas is so red because of all these people moving in. I'm not so sure that it's as red as people think. And the objective seems to be to make it the biggest tech, all of it, state. And even where was I going with this? Oh, like it was saying that Texas produces 46% of the oil for the United States. And it's second to California in population. And people keep leaving California, though.
Jerry,
Even with,
just give it time, brother. You
even,
know, there's multiple investigations still active right now, Jerry. That shit's coming out as this shit's it's gonna blow people's minds what happened in 2020, and I believe we're finally gonna all see it soon.
even with all the immigrants that have moved in to the states, California is still just barely above us in population.
That's about even, Bonnie, because I'm California's at 39. I think you guys went up to near 39. So I know South Texas is turning blue, you know, like Austin, San Antonio, Houston. Laredo might be, but I think they're still red. So yeah,
that's
South Texas
the design. What they're doing. It's Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio. They're trying to make it where I thought it was just Austin, San Antonio area, make it into a giant mess. But they're actually including Houston and Dallas into that now. And so those cities, of course, hold the most population. I'm very rural, small town. And West Texas is pretty barren, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for in the Panhandle, the border towns, they've changed. They're just very connected to what's going on in Mexico. Just say it that way. But
there's a little bit more to that job than just that part there, Yankee.
But Bonnie, I think most of the California people just care about South Texas because the climate's better than they don't really care about Dallas so much because it's a big city, it's too much traffic, it's different weather than South Texas. They just a lot of them really focus on Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Laredo, Brownsville, Corpus Christi, you know, like South Texas because of the climate. Dallas, not so much. Dallas and Amarillo, Lubbock, it's just.
They catch that shooter on the lamb there, Bonnie, in Austin. You know,
the last I heard, one of them was still on the run, and that didn't make any sense to me at all. The way that story came out, there were 5 stolen cars, but they were only hunting for 3 guys.
I know, I saw that too. Here's something else I heard just recently. The experts are saying that there's droves of people leaving California, New York, all these states that are controlled, by the Democrats, that people are leaving them by the droves, and they expect in the next couple years for that to really affect them economically in the states. They fucked themselves, basically.
Yes. And that's what they're saying too, that Texas is the highest economically.
I'm going
Right.
back to Texas before I
And
die. I'm coming down there to visit you someday. I definitely want to see Texas again. I want to see Georgia again. You
but
guys ever
Carl, I don't know that I like this. I don't, this is not, that's not the
It's gonna
Texas.
be all right, Bonnie. It's
right
gonna be
now.
all right. It's gonna be all right. It just doesn't
And
look like it yet, but things are gonna get better.
what he was saying about South Texas is running out of water. What are they going to do? Here they are, they're moving all these companies in here, and they're trying to make it. Elon's got flipping half of Texas doing his thing.
He ain't
And
got half of Texas. He's got one little town of his own on the coast. I saw it. I looked it up, but it ain't half of Texas.
Carl,
Brownsville, yep.
he has 2 ginormous data centers, one north of Austin, one south of Austin. Bastrop has been taken over by him. That he has a whole lot more than just down there by Brownsville.
Well, I've heard that he's actually doing great things for the community. That the people that live there are really appreciate all the economy boost.
Yes, he went to Brownsville and fixed up their downtown area. Woohoo!
Yeah, watch out with Elon Musk because he's coming out of California, like San Jose,
It's
Silicon
not
Valley.
so much that, Bonnie, that he provides so many jobs. I saw an estimate. I just don't remember the number of jobs he's made down there.
And I saw him say that he was bringing his own team in because nobody was smart enough to work for him.
Well, I'm sure in certain, levels, but there's all different levels to, a business. You're going to have people that do the dirty work all the way up to the engineers,
Oh, yeah, Elon Musk is not going to hire people from either Texas, even California. He did not hire them from here. He's from South Africa, man. He gets cheap labor from South Africa and just
I don't
imports
know
it
what
here.
to think of the dude. All I can say though about if there's going to be a freaking name that sounded like it belonged to an alien, it's Elon. All right, that name right there. You realize it spells Noel backwards. I'm suspicious of him just because of his name.
Well, who on earth names their child with X?
And that's what I mean. It's like Dweezil and Moon Unit. You know about them? You know who Dweezil and Moon Unit is, Bonnie?
No.
Frank Zappa's kids. Dweezil and Moon Unit.
I would say that this exodus that's happening, I'd say it looks political and everything, and they're doing all this stuff, but you notice where they're coming from. They're coming from New York, from California. Now,
Yes.
well, I'm a stern believer that things in the heavens, and by that I mean space, and conditions on the earth are going to change. Hold on one second. There's some four-wheelers here.
Sound like a Moto Guzzi.
Never mind. I don't know. I don't trust him. And then he's on the Epstein list. I don't trust him. I haven't from the beginning because he bought up all that land like immediately before he was even in the White House or anything to do with all that.
Well, the what I believe is happening, because first off, you look at how many billionaires and stuff now are building underground bunkers as of recently. But so what happens is the solar radiation allegedly hits the ionosphere, magnetosphere, and it cycles into the planet at the North Pole and South Pole, and it heats up the magma underground. And that helps with a lot of things, like the magma churning around is what causes the electromagnetic field to begin with. But anyway, what happens is when you have increased solar activity, you have earthquakes and all these other things that happen subsequently. Well, that's because the earth is made to hold so much energy. But if it constantly gets bombarded without a chance to regulate, it will eventually just not be good. So basically what's happening as of recently, by some data that I've been looking at and tracking, is that magma levels under the surface of the crust is rising globally. There's an expansion of magma. Now, when that magma resettles, it creates a small pocket of very unstable land because it's basically a sinkhole at that point. Along with other things that is happening, like crustal displacement, like that crack that's going up through Africa right now. I think it's in Ethiopia, probably. I can't remember, but the continent's basically cracking and shifting pretty good. With that being said, the areas that would be the most affected here in the United States, if something were going to happen like that, would be New York and California, because New York is very unstable as it is, mainly New York City and all of that area. But California, the whole western half or better is unstable because of all the unstable fault lines. So if something crazy were to happen, half of that state's going to fall into the ocean, and they're not going to tell anybody stuff like that. So they're just going to move quietly.
Boy, if I haven't heard that all my life, that eventually you're going to have like Arizona beachfront property and shit.
Well, it's going to happen, I'm sure. Especially with all the latest solar activity. For instance, if we do have a super El Nino like they're talking, we have a serious problem, because in the past we've had ice in polar regions to cool down the effects of.
You're worried about climate change? Is that what this is?
No, I don't believe in climate change because I believe in Jesus. This is prophecy. Yeah, no, this is prophecy.
Well, it's the way the things are. I think it's nature. I think the world's been changing all along. We just don't know the way it goes. With everything new we see, I think that a lot of this is normal. It's been a cycle,
Well, I would think that
now we're modifying it. We've got enough. I don't know what the word is. We've got enough sway here on this planet that we're like the only species that can alter this planet the way we're doing it.
Yeah, Michael. As for California getting ocean splitting, going into the ocean, man, I'm actually here, and I go up to Washington State team for the Coast Guard, but I've been here for a long time. If there's a big earthquake, man, it's going to be Salinas Valley. And west of that, that'll probably just fall into the ocean. And in Napa Valley, which is just wider reads anyways, that'll fall into the ocean. Petaluma Valley will fall into the ocean. Of course, San Francisco, Oakland, that'll fall into the ocean. But anything like not too far from Highway 5 that goes from Seattle to San Diego.
Is that the San Andreas that they've always talked about? The San Andreas Fault?
Yeah, that's just Bay Area. San Jose is going to fall in the ocean.
You can literally see that fault line on Google Earth clear as day, running right through the town and shit.
Yeah. I mean, Silicon Valley will fall in the ocean. Oakland, California will fall in the ocean. San Francisco will be in the ocean.
You said it, though, yourself. Silicon Valley would be in danger.
That's good. I mean, I actually don't mind Silicon Valley being in danger.
But that's what I'm saying. Them going to Texas is no coincidence, I don't think.
Well, see, Elon Musk is South African. He's just bouncing around trying to find money. He basically had a fight with the Gavin Newsom because Newsom didn't want to get more money, so he just said go to Texas because it's cheaper there. South Texas.
That's how I see him, just the business guy. He's going to do the best thing for the business.
For South Africa and his minerals, because he's from South Africa. His dad is.
He's far cheaper in Texas than in California, but it's still ridiculous. But that's what happened when California started moving here. Then the cost of everything skyrocketed. Before that, our highest rent was about $800. And then once California started moving in, now the average rent is about $2,000 a month. And
yeah, you used to be able to get an apartment here just 10 years ago for $350, $400, Bonnie. Now it's $1,500 at the minimum.
yes, and that's little 2-bedroom, whatever,
Mhm.
2,000 a month.
Yeah, that's a cheap little hole in the wall.
Yep.
We used to pay $200 a month for something like that. Shit, when I was younger, what the hell? Some of them, I think I rented an apartment for $150 a month in the 80s. Isn't that about right? What it cost?
In the 80s, I was paying about $250, and that was for a 3-story house.
Rent a garage, pretty much. Rent a garage was cheap. It was $100 back in the 80s, and even up until the 90s, I think it was $100 for a garage. Even here in California, I mean, if you go to the wildfire areas, which that's why they're also moving to Texas, is wildfires, they can't renew their insurance policy for their house because of the wildfires, the hills here. So that's the other reason why they're moving to Texas. The insurance policies tripled, or they just canceled their insurance altogether. And if you owe money to the bank on your house, your mortgage, you've got to have it, or you got to just give it back to the bank and go to Texas or wherever you can go. That's the other reason. Wildfires, not just earthquakes.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that wildfires are a major concern for them as well.
But yeah, I mean, you can still find areas here for like $400, $100 a week in wildfire areas. But you're gonna have to have a brick, what do you call it, bunker underneath the ground, or like get a U-Haul truck and cut it in half and basically make a hole and put it underneath in the hole, and then put the U-Haul doors over it. Make a bunker like that, like half a U-Haul truck.
I've seen that. I gotta ask why you got that highlighted, Bonnie, or what tribe? Is this the tribe that I met through like Native Voice and Hutch and all of them, or is this a new tribe?
No, this is a different tribe.
Okay.
Full of knowledge and full of insight, but different tribe.
Yeah, I actually worked for 12 Tribes Casino in Omak, Washington by Osage, Canada. I go up there sometimes. Pretty cool place. It's a rain shadow. Like half of Washington doesn't rain that much, less than a foot, or less than 18 inches. Sometimes a foot. And in Western Washington, west of the Cascade Range, yeah, that's 100 inches a year in rain. Only Hawaii is worse. That's 130 inches in Mount Kona. So, but yeah.
Well, it's nice to meet you anyways, tribe. Even though it's not who I thought it was, but I'm glad to know. I'm glad to know you too.
And also, I forgot, LA too will fall in the ocean. San Diego will fall in the ocean. Orange County will fall in the ocean. Irvine. Basically
Yeah, I hope I can see it before it falls in the ocean, because that's another place I ain't never been. I ain't seen the West Coast. I really did want to see California before it slides away.
I mean, Highway 5 is...
Like you said, not all of them would.
I hope Dee's not listening.
Well, I done told Dee what she needs is she needs to get a hot air balloon and hook it up to like a rowboat or something. Make a floating hot air balloon escape craft, something to get the hell out of there if it has earthquakes or floods. You got
She's like a mini art for her and all the animals.
She's in Humboldt, right?
Like a Dee's art.
She's in the Humboldt, Eureka area. Yeah, that's the tectonic plates right there in the ocean that meets right there at the Oregon, Brookings, Humboldt, Crescent City area. Yeah, that's the worst.
Some kind of escape pod. That's all I'm saying.
That's the worst area to be in.
You can see the bay from And my brother, he's on the coastline too in California.
What's up, Brew? Says 3 teams now in custody in Austin.
State California is a beautiful state. It's just too many Californianites there, unfortunately.
I don't know.
Hoodlums like me, man. Bad hoodlums.
I want to see a lot before it goes away. I want to see Slab City. I want to see Glass Beach. I want to see Death Valley. I want to see the sequoias and the redwoods. There's a lot in California I need to see before it goes away.
Oh, Death Valley, you'll see, man. But just the coastline. Anything west of the 101, like Salinas is going to be in the ocean. Like if you see the 101, Highway 101, that'll be in the ocean for sure. And maybe a little bit east of that, but Highway 5 is fine. Like San Diego will be in the ocean, but like Bakersfield, where the oil rigs are at, it's like basically the version of Texas oil rigs, but smaller. Bakersfield.
Well, that's what else I want to do is I want to take Route 66, the old Route 66, right up to the coast too.
But we've been hearing that about California for years. So why do you think now it's going to fall into the ocean?
Well, maybe not now, but if we keep having solar events the way that we've been having them, if we keep having more fireballs, then that's normal. If you start seeing constellations that are in the wrong orientation in the sky, then you know you've got a problem.
You mean like
because in the Bible it says that the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. So if that's the case, that means that you're going to have exactly what scientists have come out and said we have now, which is a messed up double wobble orbit. Okay.
Well, it might have always been there because they've proven that if you were to go back 10,000 years into the patterns of the sky, that at that point, and the reason we know this is the pyramids in the Nile used to line up to like mimic Orion in the Milky Way in the heavens. So if you rotated the planet back to its original, location the way it used to be back 10,000 years ago, it would match. So that it's already kind of happened over millennia where it's changed, where the stars are not what you will see all the time in the sky like your ancestors did. It'll be different. You'll see a different part of the sky.
Yeah, it happens every so often, and it's actually a cycle that they can measure by looking at the strata of the Earth in various places. Yeah.
You also forgot about volcanoes, man. Volcanoes
are serious.
Yep, and wildfires are actually kill our our air quality will be terrible. So we'll just die with lungs, inhaled so much in our lungs to where it won't even have to be an earthquake to just mess up California, man. You also got Oregon, Washington, man. They if an earthquake does hit or volcano, they had one up in Mount Baker.
Because I'm older, I ain't worried about none of this. These younger guys probably got to worry about it, but I ain't worried about that shit no more. It's been all my life they've been talking about this shit about California,
It's not only California.
The longest apocalypse I've experienced yet, and it ain't the first one. There's been several apocalypses that I've lived through. I don't think it's the end. Everybody's talking doom and gloom and shit, and I'm seeing improvements, and I don't think it's the end of times yet. And I know I'm like one of the only folks who feels this way, but that's all right. I don't mind being different.
Well,
Carl,
normally
they did have a volcano erupt back in 1980, Mount Baker, east of Seattle.
I know very well. I remember Mount St. Helens. I remember all that stuff. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't seem like it's apocalyptic to me. To me, it seems like something that's probably been going on the whole time. It just happens, and unfortunate when it does, and people get killed or whatever. But I think we're going to all survive it, just not those ones.
Normally, I would agree with you. But when you read the Bible, it says very clearly that the world is not going to know and it's going to
Yeah,
take
but
them
I
off.
have read the Bible many, 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 many times. It also says things like "No man shall know the time or the day," and I don't think it also
Right.
talks about the golden age and stuff like this. So I'm not convinced that Jesus is coming back right now. All right, I think if Jesus was coming back, I know when he does come back, we're all going to know it. All right, so I'm just
Definitely.
saying that it may not be in our lifetimes that we see this yet, folks. And I just can't believe I'm not going to jump on that wagon and think, oh, well, it's going to end anyways. Why do I do this? No, I want to keep a positive outlook. I want to think that the children that I know have a good future ahead of them. I want to think that America will rise and be free like the way it's supposed to be. I'm just trying to keep a positive outlook, and you would not believe the flack I get for trying it.
Well, I understand, and you do what you need to keep a positive outlook. If that's what makes you feel better, but the way that things are changing, it really doesn't look good. You think about AI, okay? Now
I
you think
do.
about, well, you think about the fact that if there was going to be a mark of the beast, that's exactly how he would control all the money in the world is with AI. It's literally like one of the key stepping stones for world domination. If one
I've
person
had
had full
large,
control over
long
all of AI,
conversations about just that. Yeah, I know what you mean, and it's matter of fact, I just wrote a post about all that, but it's a tool, all right, and it's just like a weapon, all right. A weapon can be used to feed you, protect you, but it also could be used to commit a crime. You could lose your soul because of that weapon, doing something wrong with it. I see the same thing with AI. It's like I see a lot of people, like we know one guy named Hawk that he's doing very positive videos with AI, music, and video. And if you use something like that for good, is it evil? I think technology at its very core could be the devil in one way. But what if the information is used against it, kind of like fighting fire with fire, But I just don't think at the end is all I was saying. I think we're all here for a reason. We're going to see something, but I don't think it's the end yet. Is all I'm saying. And believe me, I'm going against the grain. I'm swimming against the fucking flow because most of the people I know think we are in the end times, especially those folks that believe in Jesus. They really do think it's upon us.
well, it's not the first time. You think about World War One, World War Two, but this is the big key thing here. When I read the Bible, it tells you basically that Jesus Christ manifest, and that was the sign of the end times. Like, because you think about what it says,
It's
a
interesting you
thousand
say
years
that.
is a,
It's
huh?
very interesting to me you say that because I have a question for you now that I ask people often. All right. When speaking of the Bible, to me, I know why it's called the living word because I can read the same thing over different decades and get completely different things from it. So my question to people when we get on this discussion is what is the give me a review on the Bible, the simplest way, don't ramble on. What did you get from the Bible yourself? What did it teach you? One thing, the overall one thing, your take on what the Bible was telling you. Please let me know what you think.
Well, it's very hard to do it in one word.
Not one word, just one explanation. Can be a sentence, could be a paragraph. I'm just saying, what's the main take that you took from the Bible? I like to ask this
Okay.
question to people for a reason, but I'm curious what your take on that is because I've read many versions of the Bible. I've read it many, many, many times. I'm not a real Bible pusher. You people, folks, you've heard me pray a few times for people, but you don't hear me do it a lot. I don't push my beliefs on other people, but I do like to ask this question.
What I take away from the Bible is the history of mankind and the wrong choices we make. And then it transitions into getting past the mistakes someone's make and realize that they themselves are still very precious. Every person is precious on this planet. I don't care if they're evil or whatever. If they're alive, then they're a very unique individual unto themselves, because no one's made the
You're
same.
touching in the area that I'm talking about. You're not quite there from what I see. I mean, this is your version, and that's what I asked for, and I find it fascinating because that there's one thing. If I was to like never even knew about Jesus or the Bible or anything like this, and I just came to this planet or something, and I read it, like what I would think of it, and what I see. I literally see it as a manual for us in life. And I know the manual's been changed, and kings and bishops have changed the wording and all this, but there's a core to the whole book. And what I see, is in the Old Testament, it's a little different and a little harsher and a little bit, different. But ever since the New Testament, when Jesus shows up, what I saw was a guide on how to act on this planet. And the way I see Jesus is he was the only perfect one. He was kind to everyone. He did everything righteous. Okay. So to me, it's like to get the basics from the Bible to me is pretty much don't be a dick. All right. Be kind to people. I don't need the 10 Commandments to know that it's a sin. I know that hurting people is wrong. So I know that murdering or adultery or stealing or anything, I know these things hurt people. So I know that it's an automatically a bad thing to do to people, and I don't want that on my conscience. So to me, it was like, what I get from the Bible is just be good to people. All right. Be good to yourself, be good to people, be good to the earth. That's how I really see it, and I don't see there's anything wrong with that. That's why I'm fully endorsing.
Yeah, it is good to be good to everybody the way you're describing. And even a step further, really, when you read what Jesus tells you to do, you're supposed to be good and bless those that persecute you and scream in your face, and
Yes, but
they're
that may
evil.
have been one of those things they changed. Now,
I
but
don't
another
know.
thought
Does
about,
love is love conditional or unconditional?
well, that God is the only way to love, all right, and that is love. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I was literally just picking your brain because I just met you, and I like talking to you, especially the younger guys that got input on this stuff. But it's I just believe, and I made this is a line I come up with myself. A righteous man will always win in the end. So, what that's kind of got a couple meanings. People think of living when I say that. But even if you live your life well and you're a good person, you're going to win even when you die, is what I'm saying. And that's what I believe. So it's like I don't fret about doomsday or any of that stuff because I feel like Jesus has got my back and I'm going to meet him. So that's the number one thing to me is keep my soul clean. Whatever happens here on this earth, is not my biggest concern.
I understand that. My biggest concern isn't about that either, because I don't mind. It would be no big deal to me at all to perish. Especially considering how much pain I am, and because see, in 2017, I was 22, and I was living a lifestyle that I shouldn't have been living. And did a lot of things out on the street that I'm not even going to talk about. Anyway, long story short is that a guy that I knew since childhood, but never really had no dealings with. He was kind of like an outside figure to my friend group. One day had a problem with me and I didn't know it. And I was real high on pain pills because I used to sell them to some people, and of course I would do them. But anyway, one of the guys told me, he said, "Hey man, this guy's got a problem with you." And I said, "I don't know why, I ain't got nothing to do with him." So I go down to the soda machine, uh, and I'm going to go get a soda with my friends. And it's like 1:30 at night. And I start hearing like this loud banging on the ground, tinking. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I didn't really think nothing about it. But anyway, all of a sudden, when I'm walking back up to my house, it's in a trailer park, obviously. Anyway, there's like street lights, but in between some of the trailers it's real dark. And he steps out from like this dark place between these two trailers, and he's got like 5 or 6 people with him, and I've got a group of friends with me, and he's sitting there saying that I'm an informant and this and that. And I tell him, I say, hey, anybody thinks I'm an informant, tell them get an affidavit, a motion discovery, look for my name on the paperwork. And he didn't like that. But anyway, he pushed me, and then he started hitting me with a baseball bat. He hit me like 7, 8 times swinging down, and I threw my arms up, and it broke both of my arms, messed my collarbone up. I've got a pretty bad curve in the back and the bottom of my back now. It messed my head up a little bit, but I survived it and stuff. But anyway, it wouldn't be a big deal to die to me because I've already been there and done that several times, not even just with the baseball bat.
So I hear you, brother. I can't believe I'm still here. So I get your appreciation of it. I understand it. It's
Well, I'm just concerned with the people that aren't willing. Well, not necessarily aren't willing, but the people that haven't, that are still doing the same things that we've always done. People that still covet stuff, people that still like to be thieves, and people that are, for lack of better terms, like you said, dickheads and stuff. Like those people are doing that stuff because it's not real yet. There's no real consequences for people acting out the way they do. But if there ever was a day abruptly,
if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil. All right. So it's the same way, vice versa. If you believe in your devil, then you got to believe there's a God. So I think you're missing an equation there. What you're saying is true, but there's also, if you try to live this life as a righteous man, believe me, you will be tested. All right.
absolutely.
Maybe not to the extent of Job, but I'll tell you, just coming up here and saying that I'm doing good, I expect repercussions from the universe because I'm doing well. Every time that I do something kind, the road to hell is paved with good intentions and no good deed goes that stuff's all real. And I feel like the more that you try to be right in this world, the more they're going to throw wrenches into your cogs. All right. And I'm talking about demons and I'm talking about the devil because I believe that. I really do. That's all.
Well, the Bible says, be careful entertaining strangers because you may entertain angels unaware. And that can mean good or bad because I believe that the book of Enoch should be considered part of scripture. I do. There's several other books as well, but if you have no notion,
the Dead Sea Scrolls prove that it was there, so I agree with you.
Well, Joel and Joel in the Bible, it talks about Enoch and how he prophesied things to happen, and Jesus actually quotes things that's in the book of Enoch. But the thing is that with this whole alien thing that they're talking about now, it's really going to be a problem.
Just like the vice president of our United States said, I believe that if there is little green men, they're probably demons or fallen angels. And I believe unexplained aerial phenomenon could be either good or bad, but I believe that it's, if you were an angel or a demon and you come to this world, in whichever way, whether it's interdimensionally or from outer space, you're still an alien. So the term will still apply.
Well, the problem is that it's going to challenge faith. You look now, and there's already a challenging of faith, and people
It's
are
so
actually
funny that I'm
leaving.
talking to you about this because I literally 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, I did a big post about exactly what you're saying. Expect, blue beam, their shit, something's coming, all right? And they're going to use religion or something to, you know, War of the World 2.0 us. Something's going to, I could see them moving in that direction. And especially with this alien disclosure where they said that the government went and approached religious leaders around the country to prepare their followers for the revelations that are going to come with this alien disclosure, that it was going to alter beliefs and religions, and it'll cause people to question their own beliefs. So yeah, there's there's a threat there. There's a possibility.
Well, you think about that new movie that's supposed to be coming out Disclosure Day. All right.
Mhm.
That movie, because you think about Hollywood in general, you think about the holly tree. That's a tree they used for witchcraft. And you look at how much demonic stuff they kind of, But anyway, that movie's going to shape a lot of opinions on it, I'm sure. And I'm sure that because the way it works is that we have dominion and authority. So the more that we want something and the more that we entertain something, the more of it we get. So the more of a curiosity or whatever people have for it, the more it'll manifest. And I'm not sure a lot of people are ready for that, myself included, because I'm not talking about manifesting like uh, a hologram or whatever. I'm talking about something that can reach out and touch you physically. And to be honest, it's something that I think about quite often because I've had certain dreams and all these things about this sort of stuff, and so is my wife. And I'm I'm a little concerned about that.
Hey man, well, some of us got it all planned out. I tell you, I'm going to hijack the first UFO I see parked here, and then I'm going to go pick up. Watt wants to go for a ride. Eric wants me to pick him up. You got to have a plan. First thing I'm going
Well,
to do if I see an alien is in the name of Jesus Christ, demon, you are not welcome here. Be gone. That's the first thing I'm going to say to something I don't know what the fuck it is. And if that don't work, and it ain't friendly, then we're going to find out if it's lead proof. All right. But first, I'm going to use Jesus' name. And
well,
if it's
my
friendly,
concern
cool.
is
There's
that they're not
one or
lead.
something.
Well, my concern is that if they're lead proof, then what? Because a lot of people will fall back on that. But it's
Gotta
just a
have a
crazy
plan,
time we
man.
live
Gotta
in.
have a plan. Like, robots. Everybody's worried about robots. Are they waterproof? How deep are they waterproof too? You got to think outside the box.
Well, one of the things I think about is water purification because all the other stuff aside, this
Well,
whole
there's three ways. There's filtration, purification, and chemical. All right.
distillation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but there's other ways you don't even need to worry about, like a solar still. It's
Yeah,
pure right there.
absolutely. Well, you can
I
also
think you're gonna
find a
fit in here.
very
Now, what's your whole name? What's your whole handle? Because I'm gonna have to sub to you. I think you're gonna fit in this community just fine.
my name,
Yeah, the whole name on your handle. What's your handle?
Knight of Honor.
Knight of Honor. And you've been in the chats before? Because somebody dropped his
No,
link.
I, no, I haven't been in the chats. I just stumbled on, and I'll listen sometimes. Sometimes I'll jump on, and
But you don't
sometimes
do
I'll
any
just listen.
content.
No, I don't do any content. I ain't got time for that in my life right now. I just come on to have a good conversation. And plus, I'd like to be as much as anonymous as I can be. Um, because you remember AT&T, maybe last year and a half. Maybe it hasn't been that long, but they got hacked. If anybody remembers that,
I've been hacked.
and
I
there was
know that like 20 years ago I got hacked. That's why I don't give certain information out, but I'm easy to find. Everybody knows who I am. I got a business. I've been doing this for years. I don't really hide myself on here. Most people have my contact information, and I talk to them in the back alleys. I'm not
Well,
worried.
sure.
If somebody
Well,
really
I've
wants
got
to come and get it, I'm not got nobody else to worry about but myself. And if you come in with bad intentions, things might not work out like you think it's gonna. So, and I'm kind of bored in life. So, and I've been through some stuff, so I could use a little excitement. Maybe I'll make a video of it if somebody wants to fuck around.
well, see, that's the difference is I've got a family. So
Yeah, I
Hey,
get it. That I respect 1,000%,
hey,
brother.
hey, Michael, have you heard of this YouTube channel?
what YouTube channel?
The one I'm showing on the screen right now.
I can't read it.
It says Sandy Diva Mandela Effect. Pretty
No,
cool,
I've
man.
never heard of that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I believe I got it through Cola's channel too. Cola comes on here. I think she was on here earlier with the in chat.
My thing is that people are fairly rude nowadays to each other. Not even just each other, but to themselves and everything. And if you were to walk around the United States and you would see the certain statues that they have in certain cities, it would repulse you. I'm not sure if people know how many satanic statues and various other things that are
Absolutely.
just
I even spoke of that. We speak about this quite often, man. I think that they're actually using the symbolism to try to cause fear. Like that bull that came out with, and all these statues you're talking about, they're using apocalyptic imagery to make people think that the apocalypse is coming. That's what I feel.
I
That's
feel like it's witchcraft.
that too. It's probably all of it mixed in. It's one of those things where, they won't get in the way of your other enemies,
Well, you look at what and it's crazy because compared to the rest of the world, America has one of the highest quote unquote mental illness problems. It's a mentally ill country, supposedly, allegedly. But you think about like the types of movies that Americans grew up with, just constantly watching, like Chucky, Jason, whatever. Move on to today, Paranormal Activity, all this other stuff, and
Ooh, now
there's a
you're
reason that.
now you're
Well,
now you're really aware for your age. See, and this has been going on throughout my whole life, twice your age. All right. Whereas the thing that gets the most advertisement is the monster movies, the horror flicks, the serial killers. Man, they got Ted Bundy fucking t-shirts out there. There's people that idolize serial killers and dictators, murderous tyrants. They make an idol out of them in a way, all right? And it's something I've noticed. If you ever heard of something by a guy named Paul Harvey in 1965, he wrote this thing called "If I Were the Devil," and it pretty much sets out a plan on how to take America and the world down by demoralizing, and all these different things. And it's the education, it's the morals of, it's sexual, it's everything that they've done, but they promote anything dark, evil, satanic. Anything. When's the last time you saw a fucking happy ending on a movie? Even a superhero movie where superheroes are supposed to save the day? No, nowadays they die or they turn evil, or they're fucking gender swap them or turn them gay or something. They've got to fucking corrupt everything. And that's what they're putting in everyone's face. So you're damn straight, dude. They've programmed entire generations with fucking, Grand Theft Auto, where you get points for killing, murdering, and raping people. That's supposed to be a fucking game. What happened to fucking the game of life, man? This they did this intentionally. This is all engineered destruction.
well, really, and granted, I was born in the '90s, but I kept up with a lot of history, and my dad was raised by older people. But the thing is that in the 80s, that whole Satan mania, Satan hysteria, whatever it was, people overlooked that, but they shouldn't have, because it was a real big deal. That's why we're where we're at now.
That's where my faith lies. I gotta say this now. You know, reason why
Hey,
I
Mike.
won't go.
This channel
All
also
this
Traveling
bad,
Fools 2020.
all
It's
this
good
bad
too.
news, all the shit that we know is real that's not good. I'm still okay because my faith relies in this. God knows everything that was, is, and will be, and it's all by His plan. Like they just said in the chat, He saw this coming. I know that it's going to work out to His plan. Nobody else is going to change that. Nobody else is going to win. God already won. It's by His design. So that's just where I'm okay because I know that.
Absolutely. But like I said earlier, there's a lot of people that either don't know that or haven't decided yet. But you know,
It's a superpower knowing it. I agree. That's
you know what I'd
I,
like to know? I'd like to know where to find some pawpaws at. I haven't seen none of them in a long time. Pawpaw trees. Here in West Virginia,
Pawpaw,
used to be all
good
over the
man.
place.
May apples and pawpaw, I love them both. You got to get them pawpaws. You only got like a week or two window from the right when they go right, and then they go bad really quick. So
Yeah, and the
they're a
worms get to them.
they're a middle northeastern plant. So you'll get them, on the west side of the Appalachians and places, all the way up from Michigan all the way down to Georgia.
Yeah, but I here in the areas I live in Appalachians, I haven't found any for some
They're hard
time.
to find. And as far as I know, you can't you can't domesticate them. You can't, from what I know, you can't make them grow.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking about getting a something, maybe a dehydrator, or maybe I'll just get an old drum or something to make a smoker. But I'd like to make some jerky.
Boy, now you're just throwing all kinds of discussions in every direction. I don't know where to go. But this is the show about everything and nothing at all. Welcome to Watts World.
Traveling Fools.
I try to engage with the chat tribe, especially if it's like on my lives. I try to always talk to the chat's where it's at, man.
That's pretty cool. The Traveling Fools guy is pretty cool. On I think Fridays he does trivia night. He does abnormal stuff like aliens and stuff like that, and he also does Bible verses.
I wish your microphone was louder.
You talking about mine?
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna check real fast. Sorry. Maybe if I go closer to my mic.
Well, dang, James, you're welcome if we're giving you a free nap. It's hard for me to fall asleep. I wish something would make me snooze out like that.
It happens to the best of us. Sometimes the worst of us,
I wouldn't know who the worst of us is or the best of us. I don't
Sorry.
Sorry,
Carl. My mic's up now. I don't know if you heard of Traveling Fools.
Sound like somebody's in a fish tank. What's going on?
I rarely know what.
I do want to say I gotta go because it's getting pretty late here.
Yeah, same here. I got a Zoom call with Yvonne in about 30 minutes.
Well,
tell him I need some fucking rockets for my truck.
Uh-oh.
No,
I
Just a
wish
couple
y'all
small
well.
ones.
I wish y'all well, and Lord willing, I'll be on another episode.
Definitely. No doubt. Appreciate you coming up as always. Yeah, you're always welcome. Who knows when the next episode may be, you know, sometime, someplace.
Hey, don't let him fool you. He'll let almost anybody up here. Look at me.
Almost anybody. I give most people a shot, you know. Some people's already done had a few strikes and they don't even know it. But it's all right. It's like Uno, you know, when you get struck out, you have to holler it out. You know, it's like the umpire, strike, you're out of here. But Johnny, definitely appreciate you, Johnny. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up for this evening. Any final thoughts, comments, concerns, anything that needs to be addressed in the hours or minutes?
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
I think Bonnie had to go meditate about it.
I've just been sitting here listening, trying to stay
Yeah.
awake.
It happens. What you think about any final thoughts,
I
concerns?
don't know. For some reason, you and yoga pants just came to mind, and I can't get that shit out of my head.
Hey, I get a lot of emails dreaming about me in yoga pants. You know what I mean? It seems to be the common thing. It must be a rumor going around I don't know about yet. But I appreciate all the emails, all the rose heart emoji, hashtag yoga pants. Yeah, definitely.
Just please tell me that those yoga pants are not flesh colored.
Well, I don't own any. It's just people want to see it. You know, they want to see the yoga pants. I think they meant to say toga with pants. I think there's just autocorrect. You know how these type of things work.
There's always OnlyFans or something. You know, you could probably get a follow in there. I know the gals already like you, but you start wearing that kind of stuff.
I started a Lonely Fans and I got 1 million and I got out of there, bro. I got out of there before it got too dark, you know? Who knows? I appreciate everybody for being here tonight at some point and here in the now and the present. If you get bored and tune in the future, hey, that's even better. You know, I appreciate you even still the same. Maybe you learned something, maybe you lost something, maybe you found something. Who knows? Whatever brought you here, I appreciate it still the same.
Thank you for having
us. Experiment with it, Watt. You know, see if I did post pictures on my YouTube page of like my feet, see if I got more subs or if I lose subs. I kind of want to know. I want to see what happens there.
There you go. I like social experiments, you know. Maybe who knows? Maybe this is just one giant social experiment to see what happens.
I think it is. I think this whole existence is a test, but this fucking YouTube shit, this is a psychological experiment. I think Virginia Rooch is in on it too. I think she's working with some university or something, and they're pulling a psychological evaluation on the entire populace here on this platform.
Yeah, we went through the program together. That's a whole nother rabbit hole in broadcasting itself, you know. You got to dedicate a whole show to the program. You can't just talk about it at the end. It's like who shot JR? They don't know, Carl. But I think somebody said, what did they say? What did the quote go? I don't forgot the thing. In the end, it will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not the end. But unfortunately, it ends the end of Watts World. I think the link is pinned. If anybody dares to come back, you're more than welcome. Feel free. But until then, we're out of here.
I love that. Pat says, funny, I don't feel any smarter.
There you go. That's the thing about it. That's one of the side effects. You could learn something or you could forget something. You could find something or you could lose something. Reminder, at the end of the month, please check the Lost and Found box. We're acquiring items at an unprecedented pace. We're out of here, y'all.
Big writers in there.